experience, it be Mina. I have no idea if the stream is gonna even, like, go through, because my stats are saying that everything sucks. So, yeah. we're gonna try, but if you experience any, like, connection issues and stuff, I literally do not know what to do. But we do need to get through this game eventually, so we're just gonna power through and hope for the best. The feed seems fine, but can never be sure, right? I'm kind of looking over the feed as I go, and I don't know. We're just gonna have to try. The best that we can. Cool. I'm just gonna do like this. Okay. We're just gonna hope for the best. And continue going. It says drop frames, but at the same time I'm seeing the game, so I'm not really sure how to take it. Oh, Argo, you don't have any oh no. I shared it! I don't know why it won't share!
But you didn't check free. Okay,
yes, I did! I did! It said it was live. I have no idea why. That was not something I did. It, like, I did it, and then it was like, your stream is good! And I'm like, okay.
But you didn't launch it before.
What?
You didn't launch the game feed on Discord before, yeah.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
I tried. I don't know why it wasn't working.
Because you restarted PC, and then it didn't work.
No, but then I put the feed up again.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't launch it pre-going live.
This is stressful. Okay. The unexpected halt of proceedings sent a clamor around the courtroom. But outside the Bailey, where Londoners knew nothing of the secret trial within, it was a typical still night. Then, at a little past 8 o'clock that evening, Mr. Sholmes and his partner returned to Baker Street.
You have returned, my dear fellows.
Okay, you're taking over ENVtuber again, because otherwise I will be way too many people in this scene. Welcome back to Britain, and thank you for your timely help.
Think nothing of it. I believe you had an even more worrying day than ENVtuber and I, you know?
You could say that. We were on the brink of defeat in court earlier.
So this prosecutor Asogi had you on the ropes, did he? And he's your best friend, you say?
Well... he's not really the man I knew in Japan anymore. Kazuma's changed. Okay, we're slowly getting less dropped frames. I have no... I shouldn't have said that, now they went up!
Why do you...
I'm trying my best here.
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo.
I mean, it's incredible. To think that he'd even entertained the idea of acting as the Reaper's assassin.
Us in.
SS in.
Well, nevertheless, you must introduce me. After all, I've only ever met the young man as a corpse.
What a mood.
Oh, I know you very well. I met you as a corpse.
When all this started, almost a year ago now. Mr. Sholmes still hasn't told us the truth about what really happened back then. About the motivation for what he himself described as a great detective's lie. I mean, I'm assuming he lied about us only being dead, but...
Now then, I must say, it's really quite a journey all the way to France.
Well, it is another country, Mr. Sholmes. So, what news of Shikoku?
We took him to Scotland Yard. The investigating detectives there have a lot of questions for the man.
Poor Professor ENVtuber. This must be quite a shock for him. Yeah.
Ah yes, I picked up at this telegraph office on our way home.
What is it?
Surely you haven't forgotten already. I put upon you for the matter only yesterday. put upon me, Shoals. I had to fill out your telegram to Japan and foot the bill as well.
Yikes.
Oh, you've had a reply already?
What was so urgent though, Mr. Jones?
Such matters can wait until later. I'm far too hungry of involved conversation at present.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's good news. Because supper's ready, everyone.
And what a feast it is. If I were none the wiser, I think the trial were won already. Roast beef, keeper, stew, steak, a kidney pie, Yorkshire pudding.
Tomorrow could be a very long day, so eat up.
In that case, I think I'll sit myself just here. This place appears to be only one set, with a helping of pheasant as well.
Oh, sorry, Harley, not there. That's not for you.
Hello, Banana Slimas. Welcome to the stream. We're having a bit of dropped frames right now, so if there's any problems, please let us know. It's a bit stressful.
Why ever not? Are we in set places this evening?
Yes, and that place is for Susie's daddy.
For me?
That's right. I made it especially for you, Professor Mickey.
I can't get over that. Professor Mickey.
Disney will claim this. Disney will claim this game.
Yeah. Professor
I see.
Mickey!
Well, that's terribly kind of you.
I'm sorry for giving you brain damage. It's a shame, really.
What do you mean?
Well, for a brief moment I believed it. That Susie and I were half-sisters, I mean.
You still are sisters. Oh. Oh.
Mm.
Oh.
Mm.
You're so pretty. She's so sweet. Iris, do you mean?
Yes, I know now. I overheard yesterday. I secretly listened into the conversation you had after I tricked you all into thinking I'd left. Hehe. I'm such a sneaky 10-year-old.
What? What?
Oh, he did not expect that. That's hilarious. Ah. Shomsi, the misunderstanding arose because of that autopsy report from 10 years ago. But actually, it turned out that neither Dr. Wilson nor Professor Mikotoba are Iris's father. Yay! KO! I know, right? He is dead.
He has no dad.
She has no dad. Or mom. No one.
Yes, about that, Iris. You know, I
know. You can't tell me at the moment.
But I guess he knows. Maybe. I don't know.
He knows that he
Oh.
doesn't want to tell.
Oh, Iris. Yeah.
The pheasant's is by way of an apology. I'm sorry for eavesdropping.
Oh, not for the concussion? Okay.
Nah.
Not for the concussion. She is entirely not sorry about that. That was his fault, I guess. Whatever. You stepped on the landmine.
Oh,
It's not my
no,
fault
no,
for
no.
putting it down.
That's quite alright. And why don't I get an apologetic peasant?
Because you suck. So just who is Iris's father? I don't know. We're rapidly running out of fathers here. I suppose this is something we'll be finding out today. Well, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Or the day after tomorrow. Or the day after that. Or the day after that. Or the...
So then let us dine while our rightly pheasant's plates are still piping hot.
Pheasant is not for you!
A fine idea, Sean. Oh, looks absolutely delicious.
Eat as much as you like. They're always seconds.
Nom, nom, nom. For your last chance to ask questions before tomorrow's trial. About the telegram from Japan. And about Kazuma. Nun. Thank you so much to Steph for following. Hello! Welcome! So nice to see you here. How are you doing? I can't let this opportunity slip away. Let's go. Let's go, Nick. Let's go. Okay, we are on the last case of the second game, so we are almost finished.
No, we are on the second half of the last
Yeah, we're on the
case.
second half of the last case of the last game. So we are super late. Yeah, we're probably finishing this weekend kind of late. Yeah, it's so exciting. Okay, okay, I can't do anything else. Fuck me then. I have to look at angry Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing?
Surely it's abundantly clear that I wasn't brooding over Mikatopa's refusal to share his present with me. Nevertheless,
I love it.
I felt the need to withdraw from the social circle for a while and look on with hungry eyes.
Sorry, Hurley, but I cooked that pheasant especially for Susie's daddy, and you're not Susie's daddy, lest I check.
Even though I've played the role of a father to you for far longer.
I mean, I do think he's very fairly depressed right now. It's like, but I am your dad! Mr. Sholmes? Can I discuss some things with you? Sure, dude.
Definitely, my dear fellow, I find myself quite in the mood for a spell conversation.
Bro, Herlock is so depressed, ATM. Yeah, he's like very manio-depressive, that's for sure. He's like very up and down constantly.
No doubt, you're hungry to learn more of my deep love of game.
Oh, you mean peasants? I can probably contain my curiosity on that one. I know! He just like... He has like... It's like he's so depressed! Oh no!
You needn't look at me in that fashion.
Stairs! In what fashion?
It seems that before we discuss the pheasant, we have some rather unpheasant matters to discuss.
Come on, oh my god. You win this round of pun mania. Is there anything funny going on here? That violin that you can't pronounce? No, nothing new. Okay. Well, let's talk. So, what was in the telegram you received back from Japan then?
This, I think my lucky stars it arrived in time. Record found as indicated. The applicate follows. K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson.
Okay, so that, okay, thank you. I forgot the order of those. What? Those 4 names! We've come across that exact same list before. Yeah, the telegram. They came up in that unforgettable case last spring. What appeared to be a simple case of aggravated murder turned out to be masking monumental intrigue. A plot that involved the sale of British governmental secrets to foreign states. Dun dun dun! I know, right? Bananas is like dun 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 dun! Yeah. In exposing the means by which those secrets were being leaked, we deciphered a fragment of a message. K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson, and then the below 4 or something, the above 4. And that was the end. But we didn't find the names out until the case was over, and we never did get to the bottom of what they meant. All we knew was that the information had been sent by somebody in the British government to somebody in Japan. So, why are the names coming up again now?
Yes! Where did the sender of your telegram discover them, Mr. Sholmes?
I've heard the message wired yesterday. Allow me to read it out to you. Enter Judge Jikaku office undetected and investigate telegram records.
What? Oh god, he...
Expect to to find communication from Britain dated 1 year ago.
Oh shit!
List of 4 names. Need by tomorrow. Naruhodo. I sent it to a detective I know who specializes in
Clandestine?
clandestine missions of this nature.
I feel like we've come across that word before, and none of us know how to
No,
say
no, no. We come with the word violence.
it. Violence.
You asked Inspector Hosonaga to undertake such an onerous task for you?
And in my name? Oh god, I'm gonna have to answer for that one when I get home. I wonder what guys he opted for this time. Ah, Hosonaga.
My dear fellows, it was a matter of great urgency, you understand? Anyway, the list of names was found in Seishira's office, as Shons predicted.
Yeah, and also I'm sorry about any sort of lagging and stuff. There's not much we can do. Unless my frame dropping just stops. So you mean that mysterious collection of names that was sent from Britain to Japan was...
It was sent to Judge Jikoku. He was the intended recipient.
I don't believe it.
But that doesn't answer the question of what the list of names actually signifies.
I did formulate a hypothesis about that. But without a shred of evidence, I couldn't possibly have shared it.
Mr. Sholmes. Looks deadly serious for once. Celebrating for Japan has been entered into the court record. Oh great, so this is gonna come. I mean... Okay, why did you lie? Why are you a liar? That tragedy we had to go through in the SS Studio. It was all for nothing! Kazuma wasn't dead at all! We were completely taken in by the lie you told us. Your great detective lie. Your great detective's lie.
I took no pleasure in deceiving you. However, at the time, all that concerned me was preventing the young man's study tour from taking place, whatever the cost.
What?
I capitalized on the events that transpired to see that he was sent back to Japan.
His remains, you mean?
Precisely, Miss Susato. Then I made sure that somebody else was sent to Britain in his stead.
Oh my! You mean...
The arrangement between our two countries was already in place. One university student lawyer and one judicial assistant to be accommodated on a study tour.
Makes sense.
In other words, by arranging for someone else to fill the place originally intended for Mr. Asoli, I would successfully prevent the man from arriving on our shores for several years at least.
Wait, do you mean to say that it was all in aid of stopping Kazuma coming to Britain? That's why you...
Think back, Mr. Naruhodo. Was there not somebody who quite casually urged you to continue on the voyage to England?
You did.
The terms of the study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. In the light of Mr. Asaki's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead. My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know? All you require is one lawyer and the study tour can continue, surely.
But there's no one else with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Sholmes. We know of no other lawyer.
The voyage to London still promises a good amount of time. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourself another suitable lawyer.
So you manipulated me? Dang.
I've often remarked on the extraordinary lengths to which friendship would drive a man. I was quite sure that you would rise to the challenge for your late friend.
God, you. I don't believe it.
But if it was all contrived... I mean, what happened was treated by the authorities as a murder. A woman was mistakenly arrested as the perpetrator. What do you suppose became of her?
Naturally, I didn't allow the misapprehension to have any serious repercussions. I subsequently explained everything and assisted the unfortunate soul in finding a foreign refuge she sought.
Makes sense. I seem to remember Miss Sato and I had some rather strong words for her.
Well, she was certainly not devoid of all guilt. She deserved every word, I'm sure.
I mean, she did still assault someone, yes. I wonder if she made it to America then.
I'm afraid I simply cannot comprehend it. Why would you go to such lengths, Mr. Sholmes? Why were you so determined to stop Kazuma-sama from reaching Britain?
The truth is, 12 months ago, there was already a very tangible omen of the impending tragedy, you see.
Ah!
An omen that, at the very moment in time, is close at hand.
An omen of all those tragic events that already existed a year ago. It's close at hand. We need to find out exactly what Mr. Sholmes knows. An omen. Do we need to present him with something? Maybe? What do you think, Argomo?
Maybe the telegram? I don't know.
Yeah, we can try it. Let's try presenting the telegram. There was no room for doubt with your instructions in this telegram, Mr. Sholmes. You were very clear that it was Judge Jigoku's office that should be searched. So, you obviously knew that's where the list of names would be found. True.
K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson.
But we only learned of those 4 names just over 6 months ago now. And only because they appeared as part of the top secret government communications that were leaked.
That's true, yes, but at the time you were unaware of the background. You see, those 4 names were wired to Japan. Around 6 months before that, approximately this time last year in fact, when you were both still in Japan.
Ah!
It really would be hypocrisy on my part to reprove others for intercepting state secrets. Because after all, I perpetually am eavesdropping on communication between British and Japanese governments.
You're what? He's just over here like, I'm committing crimes! Bruh! Bruh! You're perpetually doing what? How?
Never mind the details, but you should know. No secret is safe from Herlock Schultz when he has designs on knowing it.
Oh my, Mr. Sholmes, what a fabulous line.
Susie, please.
Now, 1 month after that list of 4 names was wired to recipient Jigoku in Japan, Dr. John H. Wilson was murdered.
I see where this is going. Oh! Oh no, it's...
As soon as I learned of the incident, a hypothesis rapidly took shape in my mind. As it turned out, I was partly correct and partly mistaken.
Uh-oh. What a situation.
Nevertheless, it was the beginning of all the tragic events that were to follow.
Mr. Sholmes, please, tell us all you know. Tell us about these 4 names and the tragedy to which they're somehow connected.
Yeah, I can kind of see where this is going. So, an assassin kills
As he said, when I learned of Dr. Wilson's murder in Japan,
Wilson, so that means that Gregson was the target. Here.
my mind immediately turned to those 4 names because, you see, there was someone else on that list who I believed to be recently deceased.
What? Who? Asogi. Oh,
Eishin.
Eishin, right.
As was transcribed in Japanese script, in actual fact, Miss Asashi. That was a familiar name to me. He was a professional killer, well known amongst London's unsavory classes.
Oh, I see.
But she had completely vanished from existence several months before Wilson's murder.
Hmm.
So I came to the logical conclusion that she had herself been killed.
Makes sense.
And accordingly, I became fearful for the lives of the remaining 2 persons on the list.
Yeah.
Ah! Kei Asogi and T. Gregson.
Owing to our proximity, I decided to take measures to protect Gregson myself. I determined it would be safest if young Asogi were to stay away from Britain.
That's a very fair assertion. Ah, so that's why you went to such lengths to prevent his study tour from going ahead.
Exactly.
So, you already knew who Kasuma-sama was, Mr. Sholmes?
Oh yes, Sholmes and I have exchanged a correspondence for years.
Yep.
I recounted many tales about Asogi to him in my letters, and the news of Dr. Wilson's death, of course.
Yep. Oh, right. She finds this out now!
So, Dr. Wilson is dead then. I didn't know.
Oh, Iris. Oh, no, baby.
I know he wasn't my daddy, but still. That's very sad.
I'm so sorry, Iris. We knew the significance of the name, obviously, but we just couldn't bring ourselves to tell you.
No.
But what you just told us, Mr. Sholmes, isn't completely tying with the fact. There's one big hole in your hypothesis.
A big hole, Mr. Naruhodo?
Ah yes, you mean about Asashina, I presume?
Yeah. Her death wasn't exactly planned. Like, she was alive, not dead.
Oh, of course!
Exactly, she wasn't killed, was she? She was in Japan, posing as a visiting student under the assumed name of Giselle Brett. Exactly. And her death doesn't exactly look like an assassination to me. Angry reporter dude stabs her because she's an asshole. I mean, respect, right?
I'm glad you're keeping up, my dear fellow.
But I mean, so, yeah.
But I only became aware of that fact 2 days ago, in the foyer of the Great Waterloo Hotel.
Oh, that makes sense. He was lacking critical information.
And upon hearing that startling revelation, the hypothesis that I formed surrounding those 4 names was completely turned topsy.
What? Topsy? Topsy-turvy, my dear fellow. Topsy hypothesis. What do you mean when you say your hypothesis was turned topsy, Mr. Sean?
I had believed all 4 names on the list to be the names of victims. However, I was mistaken.
Very much so. Oh, that.
Very much so, Assassin was a killer. This telegram is a list of both victims and killers, is it? Indeed, and it would seem that Miss Sheen was dispatched from Britain with the sole intention of dispatching this Dr. Wilson.
Makes sense.
Her visiting student status being merely a front.
And the visiting student thing is also kind of also explains the whole thing, right? Because the whole point was that Japan couldn't touch her, right? Because she was a foreigner. So that was why she was dispatched. Like, they could have hired a Japanese assassin, but then if he'd been caught, he would have got in trouble, right? But in this case, she's just like, oh, I'm just a visiting student, so I can just get like fucked, you know, like it's fine. Ah. Makes sense.
Which would of course explain why no motive could be determined for her actions.
So the real reason Dr. Wilson was killed by assassin is because he was the target of an assassination.
And for armed with that knowledge of fresh consideration of this telegram, puts that is in a very different perspective.
What do you mean?
Well, does it not strike you? There is another among the 4. Who subsequently became a visiting student.
Yep. Ugh, Asogi, you little shit. God damn. Wait, you mean Asogi, of course.
But of course, a name you know only too well.
You mean Kazuma? Why are you acting? Ah! Yeah. He did say in court earlier today.
Yes, on 31st October, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk. In order to carry out the mission. And the mission was the assassination of the Mark. Young Mr. Asogi accepted that mission a year ago now.
Surely not.
Yeah.
In conclusion, this document is a contract of sorts.
He was being he was being vague on purpose. He was like, I was dispatched to kill the target, and then he specifically left out who the supposed target was. Damn it, Asogi.
As international agreement, one might say, detailing an assassin exchange.
An assassin exchange? Yeah. How could Kazuma possibly get involved in something like that? I mean, finding out that your father was possibly wrongfully executed for being a serial killer by the British government secretly would really probably get on your nerves and makes you very angry and bitter, and you'd probably do anything to go and figure out what happened and who's behind it so you can kill them. I can see it, especially considering how Kazuma's been acting. It's like, this is what he's feeling like, huh? But in the end, I guess it's up to us to like trust that he means it when he's like, I didn't do it, you know?
Let's assume that we have 2 parties, each wishing to dispose of distinct individual. Those 2 parties then make a contract to swap their respective assassination targets. That would be an assassin exchange.
Okay, and so I'm assuming that, and that explains why Jigoku was there. Because he must have been the Japanese side partner, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he received it, and then Asogi was like, I won't do it. So he thought he had to show up. So really, to us now, the question becomes who actually killed Gregson? Was it in this case Jigoku or Asogi? I mean, Asogi did claim not to kill anyone. So
to begin with, the British assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Japan where she kills her target. And then, the Japanese assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Britain in order to eliminate his target. It certainly does sound like an exchange.
but what on earth is the point? Yeah,
Don't forget, Naruhodo, that the British assassin at least escaped conviction,
she was untouchable.
thanks to diplomatic immunity afforded by the consular jurisdiction.
Oh yes. Oh god. Uh-oh.
That jurisdiction should be null and void on the terms of the new treaty between our two countries. So the fact that it was brought into place suggests intervention at the very highest level.
I can see that. The highest levels.
These mergers were two sides of the same coin, linked not by common motive, but by contractual agreement. As such, they appear utterly unrelated, yet in truth, the answered assassinate were complicit in one singular devilish scheme.
Uh-oh, schemes. Schemes!
That dissociation and safeguard of diplomatic immunity were, I believe, the motivation behind this plot.
Yep.
Wait a minute, Sholmes. If this telegram is readily described the exchange of assassin as you're suggesting, it would mean that the Japanese killer target was never Sheiichiro Jikoku at all.
Yeah, it was Gregson, who is actually dead. That makes a lot of more sense.
It would mean Asogi's target was actual Inspector Gregson.
Yep. What? Kazuma was here for Gregson? So Judge Jikoku wasn't actually the mark? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, that's exactly what it would mean.
I hold myself personally responsible for failing to keep the inspector safe.
Mr. Sholmes.
I told him of my fears and implored him to seek transfer to an overseas position.
Oh, he was the one who set that into motion.
Obviously, with a young pickpocket in tow.
That's very sweet of him. Yes, Gina. Come to think of it, Inspector Gregson did mention that to us at the Great Exhibition. That he'd be transferring to the Paris police and taking Gina with him.
But without informing me, he engaged in one last assignment, it seems. And sadly turned out to be his very last.
It's too much to take in.
All right, everyone. That's quite enough of the serious talk for one day. Isn't it, Hurley? I mean, look at the time!
Aww. Such a sweetie. Very, very nice.
Ah, quite right, Iris. We must conclude our preparation for tomorrow.
What preparations?
Well, I think I shall make my way back to hotel room now.
Bye, Dad!
That has certainly been a high night to remember.
It is a little bit sad, though.
Hmm?
I mean, I like the idea of you being my daddy.
Hello, Talon. Hello. I'm so sorry about the drop frames. I can't do anything about it right now, and I really can't afford not to stream today. we're gonna have try to take a BRB at some point and see if I can fix it a little bit.
Because then, Susie would have been my big sister.
Oh, I'm sorry, Iris. We can still be a family. Shut up.
I know, Iris. I was thinking quite the same thing. Were you? Oh, you shouldn't have. But if somebody like me would be worthy, I would be delighted to become your sister. Yes! Sorry, I'm here for this. What? Really?
Oh.
Oh, yes, without question. So, you'll take me all the way to to throw Bruno at the floor?
Yes, of course.
It would be my pleasure.
You didn't have to agree quite so readily.
Oh, but wait a minute. Susie's gonna be my big sister. You could be my big brother if you want, Bruno.
Huh? I mean, yes, of course. If you'll have me, I'll gladly be your brother.
Well done, Iris. You must always be mindful of feelings. I've read you so well.
Oh, how what a lovely family. You've been sensitive is your strong suit, naturally.
Ha. Right, I'm gonna work extra hard for tomorrow now. Because it's my big brother. Because it's for my big brother and sister.
What is all this talk about preparing for tomorrow? Preparing what?
Hee hee, you'll just have to wait and see.
Oh.
Good luck in court tomorrow. I'm expecting a sterling performance.
Nice. Nice. I'll do my very best, of course. As always. So the overnight break into trials proceedings became a crucial turning point. Exposing new truths while posing new conundrums. That was the 4 names on the telegram in Judge Jigoku's office. And the extraordinary assassination plot in which my best friend had somehow become involved. I felt as though I had been plunged into an even greater darkness all of a sudden. But at the same time, I felt sure I would see the light again soon. Because I have my family. Because I was lucky enough to have the most wonderful family in the world standing steadfast behind me. Yes! Yes! It's my family! They're my family. I love my family. My 2 dads and my sisters. Normal family vibes. Yes. Okay. Okay. 4th of November, 9:30 a.m. The Old Bailey cartoon. Oh dang, we don't even have like. Wow, that felt like a recess. We didn't even have like a fucking. Ooh, antechamber. Ooh, you know.
Before we begin today, I have a brief announcement. As with the closed trial 10 years ago, some astonishing facts have come to light in these proceedings.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
The revelation that the well-known Reaper is actually an organized illegally executing its own brand of justice. And the discovery that a respected yard inspector was at its heart until himself perished is an assassination plot. Well, I say to all members of judiciary here present on this occasion that we will stop at nothing to uncover the whole truth behind these disturbing findings.
Okay. We just tried resetting it. No, that didn't work. It was getting really bad.
Counsels, you will undertake this trial with the resolve to pursue the truth to the bitter end.
Resolve. Yes, that's my intention. Passing about dust.
My lord, if I may inquire. The defendant may speak. On what grounds is Kazuma Asogi permitted to continue in his role as prosecutor?
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair. He's definitely a criminal. Let me just try doing something real quick. Maybe if I put OBS as like a priority, it'll do it.
It's network, not the...
No, I'm doing it right now. How do I do that? Uh-oh, I don't know how
I'm
to...
saying it's network.
It is. Oh. Sorry, you
You
didn't
shouldn't
read
be
that,
enjoying the privilege of freedom, let alone be leading the prosecution.
right? Did you read that?
He has admitted to colluding with the victim in a plot to assassinate an innocent man. I submitted a written petition to Lord Strongheart, requesting that judgment of my transgressions be delayed by 1 day.
Oh wow. So he's like, I'm only a criminal starting tomorrow. Oh my god.
You did what?
And he just said yes?
You just agreed. In today's proceedings, I intend to expose everything. My whole life for the last 10 years has all been leading up to this one day.
Kazuma.
Whatever the outcome of this trial, I give my word that I will accept whatever punishment is deemed appropriate, however severe. I suggest you prepare yourself for the same, Reaper.
But he didn't do anything. Unless being very angry all the time is like a crime. Kazuma's bristling with hostility today. I get the distinct impression we're heading into very dangerous territory. No.
Is that really even Kazuma-sama standing before us?
Yeah, he's just very angry.
As an extreme perception to normal practices, I have granted this prosecution request. The defense finds this acceptable, I presume.
Can't say no to you, babe. Yes, my lord.
In that case, in the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. We resume the closed hearing of Baruch von Zix.
The defense is ready, my lord.
No, you're not.
Shut up!
The prosecution is more than ready. Very well then. This preamble has taken long enough. Prosecutor Asogi, begin.
Like he's ordering around a fucking horse. It's like, begin! Run, my steed!
As you wish, my lord. The prosecution calls the first witness to the stand. Bring Seishiro Jigoku into the courtroom.
We'll bring him. At last, then, we've reached the final battle. He's putting literally everything on the line now in order to get to the truth. Bonk! Come on, Yunosuke. It's time for that steely resolve, because this is gonna be a test to the limit. This is gonna test it to the limit. Okay. And there he is. Or guy, man guy. There he is.
Witness, state your name and occupation for the court. Ha! So it was you who issued this, was it?
Actually, I wonder. test something. No! Okay, cool. I don't think if anyone could hear, I don't think anyone could hear that essentially.
Mr. Pina, I did what was necessary. Well, look what the young man has become. I didn't think I'd see the day when you take that tone with me, I must say. The witness will ensure his responses are pertinent to the question asked.
Oh shit.
My name is Seishiro Jigoku, a Supreme Court judge from the Empire of Japan. 16 years ago, the man came to London as a visiting student. 6 years later, he returned to Japan. As well as presiding over the Supreme Court, he is also currently Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs. I am of course fully aware of Mr. Jigoku and his preeminent roles.
He's very eminent.
I invited him personally to the International Forensic Science Symposium as a representative of his country. I hear he also played a key role in the conclusion of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation.
Oh my god, nice.
Oh, it was a great honor to be involved in negotiation. I put all into that treaty.
I will say, Mr. Doug is very useful right now for noticing when the frame drops are on the stream. You're like, oh, Mr. Doug, he stopped. Oh, okay, he stopped. Okay. Judge Jigoku, I must ask. I'm trying to keep it, like, attention to, like, just, like, pause for a second when it goes completely red. Hopefully that'll make it a bit more bearable.
Well, I never fancied a young murdering student turning up here of all places.
I didn't murder anyone! Oh my god. You acquitted me yourself, sir. And now, I'm a practicing defense lawyer. This is my life now.
Yes, and full of self-importance like your friend across the courtroom, I see.
You came here to London by invitation to the International Forensic Science Symposium. Could we not have a short name for it? No? Okay. But then, without informing anyone of your plans, you took flight to France.
Took flight? I have to object to that turn of phrase.
Then explain yourself. What exactly were the circumstances?
Well, I was somewhat expecting this. And I'm sorry to say. I decline to comment.
Right.
An actual
What?
witness that actually took his right to stay silent.
I know, right? I know, right?
Leaving the country prematurely when I was invited guest may be questionable etiquette.
He's like, I might be rude, but I'm gonna continue being rude by not telling you. Cause that is my life. I feel so bad about the drop frames. I wish I knew what to do about it, but I don't. So, I'm just glad it's not like a high paced game or anything. Like a few frame drops here and there is probably not gonna completely destroy the continuity, you know.
But my decision is unrelated to this case. I can't be bound to testify.
I was just an ass. That's all.
Unrelated, you say? I appreciate that a respected police inspector has been killed, for which I offer my condolences.
Well, we did find the bip-bop for the pocket watch and the suitcase. That's what that picture is for, right? Got it. Wait, where is it? We have 5 million. For once, we have a lot of. It wasn't Soseki after all!
You can prove that.
True. Maybe Soseki was also in there together with Grexon's body.
However, being an alien, I obviously never met the man, nor do I know the first thing about him. As such, I'm in no position to testify. It's as simple as that.
So you would run from all this?
I beg your pardon?
This case is more far-reaching than the murder of Inspector Gregson. It has ties to another murder. A case that was tried in Japan almost a year ago now.
A year ago in Japan, the murder of Dr. John H. Wilson, you mean?
That's right. And you, Judge Jigoku, are at the heart of both cases. The defense has evidence to prove it.
Well, Ryunosuke, I see from the look in your eyes
Me not bluffing.
that you're resolved to carry this through to the very end, too.
Yes, because this is the last case, Asogi.
Let's see your evidence then. What proof do you have that Seishiro Jigoku is involved in this case?
Bip up. That's gonna be my it's the bip up. It's this bip up. That's my guess. Yeah.
What on earth is that?
It's my trump card. Ha! This piece of evidence is a welcome present to the courthouse, with the compliments of the defense.
You have a poor grasp of British Court Etiquette Council. That's the extent of your resolve.
Oh, come on. That's hilarious.
You disappoint me, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
No, wait, really? But then
Yes, really.
Stand tall, Mr. Naruhodo. That was a minor blow.
Having your best friend tell you he's disappointed and you really stings now. Really? Okay, the ties question is this case. Oh, it's the telegram.
Good, there's still plenty.
I'm too far ahead. I'm too big brained for this game. Telegram. I'm too big brained. I did love the stopping music for our big mistake though. That was funny. This is a telegram detailing communication sent between Britain and Japan approximately 1 year ago. The communication contained 4 names: K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, and J. Wilson. Oh.
You little... Where did you get that?
In Tokyo. From your office, Judge Jigoku.
What? How on earth did you?
Oh, a certain friend and his frog whispered it to me.
What's this all about? Why is my name on that list?
Don't
Was I
play
allowed to
dumb,
play?
you little shit! Oh my god, that makes me angry. Oh, Asogi. This list of 4 names follows a certain pattern. T. Gregson and J. Wilson are the names of victims. K. Asogi and A. Shin are the names of assassins.
No.
It's like, oh shit, I've been busted. A year ago in Tokyo, Dr. John H. Wilson's life was taken in a Western-style restaurant in the capital. The culprit was found to be a visiting student who went by the name of Giselle Brett, but her real name was Assassin, a professional killer sent on a mission to kill from Great Britain. I'm glad we don't have to say her name that many times, because I would've- oh my god, I would've cried.
A. Shin and her victim, J. Wilson.
And the murder that just took place here in London was the counterpart to that crime. An assassin sent from Japan, also a visiting student, Kazuma Asogi, whose victim was the British police inspector Tobias Gregson.
K. Asogi and T. Gregson. 1 assassin from each country to kill a target residing in the other.
What exactly is the defense suggesting?
These 2 cases of murder, one that took place in Britain and one in Japan, were masterminded by a pair of individuals from each country as a form of assassin exchange. And the telegram the defense has acquired is proof of this international contract to kill. He had a big hoo-wah? What? Oh god. Oh god. Are we back? We're back. Oh god. Sorry about that. That was very bad. That was a pretty bad one. The telegram was found in your office, Judge Jigoku. In other words, the mastermind in Japan was you. He's very angry now.
That Jikoku? What's this all about?
And you, Kazuma. You lied. Oh shit, he lied? No. How could he? During yesterday's proceedings, you acknowledged that you'd accepted the assassin mission. But the mark wasn't Judge Jigoku at all. It was T. Gregson, Detective Inspector of Scotland Yard, as shown by the name on the killing contract.
Very impressive, Uranus. Actually, I didn't lie.
Ah!
The name of the target I was ordered to kill never passed my lips
He
yesterday.
did! That's true! He's right! He did not say anything. That's really annoying. I hate him.
The idea that Sashiro Jigoku was the mark came entirely from you.
Ah! You deliberately avoided saying a name?
Defense claims the four names indicate some sort of international assassin exchange.
Yeah, and I think I know who the Britain half of this was. Points at a certain green man.
I'm sure I speak for all present when I say that very idea seems utterly absurd.
Of course you deny it, you piece of shit!
Well, Mr. Jigoku, what do you have to say for yourself?
His silence only goes to prove his guilt!
That's another very important point that this new development brings to light. There's no distinct possibility that the scene of the Inspector Gregson's actual murder was in the witness's cabin aboard the SS Grouse.
Judge Jigoku, you have to testify now. To refuse will put you in contempt of court. Which is a real crime that definitely people get punished for in this game.
There's no need for quite such a vicious state, young man. Very well then, as a parting gift to you all, I tell you everything I know. It seems that this Japanese gentleman has information that the court must hear. All about the alleged assassin exchange, and the events of the night of the 31st October. Present your formal testimony now. As you wish, my lord.
What is he gonna do?
It's true that Kazuma Sogi was assigned the assassination mission 1 year ago now.
I see.
The target was Inspector T. Gregson. That was condition of the British study tour. However, in the end, something happened that meant the young man was unable to carry out his mission. On the evening in question, a member of the crew was on duty outside the cabin at all times.
No! I already know.
If there had been shots fired, the crewman would have heard it, so clearly I can't be involved.
That's what the drill. Okay. Got it. I still remember that. So you admit it then, as this communication suggests. There really was an assassin exchange agreement between Britain and Japan.
A political endeavor at the highest level. It's not something I can discuss here.
What do you mean a political endeavor? It's just murder, dude. Literally just murder. Literally murder. To use such a word for practice as foreign study to coerce someone to commit murder. It's the most appalling thing I've ever heard.
Appalling. Well, it's easy to judge.
Yeah, because you're a judge, you asshole.
Pardon?
Asogi had no reason for taking his sword to that British inspector, you know.
He was shot, Bigoku. You're a dumbass. What? Oh god, it's very...
Which is why he accepted the mission in the first place. Isn't that right, Council?
Oh shit.
Kazuma-sama?
Judge Jigoku, if you're the mastermind behind this operation in Japan, then tell the court the identity of your counterpart in Britain.
I'm not obliged to divulge that information.
It's definitely Stormheart, 100%.
As I said yesterday, I've killed nobody. I fully admit that I accepted the mission, but on the night the plan was to be executed, I backed out. In short, this assassination that the defense has identified is unrelated to the events of this case.
You were still there, you fucker.
The crucial point is this. The police inspector can't have perished aboard that steamship in Dunkirk. Because if he'd been shot in the cabin, it's inconceivable that the member of the crew wouldn't have heard it. That's right. Gregson was killed after returning to London in the room on Preston Street. And the perpetrator of the crime was the Reaper, Baron von Zix.
Nope.
The prosecution accusation remains unchanged. To think that seemingly innocent foreign exchange program was a facade for such Machiavellian dealings.
I think that's Machiavellian, but that's just how I heard people say it.
Clearly, it's a plot only a government minister and a high-ranking judge such as witness could hope to execute.
Government minister? Oh, okay, yeah, he's both of those things, right. I was like, what? Yeah, I think he's the Minister of Foreign Affairs, right?
Well, I seem to recall that it was someone on the British side who controlled everything.
Yep, he's definitely talking about Strongheart. Right now, I can kind of feel it. For sure.
Be that as it may, it's not the place for this court to pursue this villainous assassin exchange plan.
Oh yeah, you'd love that. You'd love that.
We are concerned only with the tangible events pertaining to the murder of Inspector Gregson. Is the defense clear on that point, Counsel?
Of course! Crossing fingers on back. Yes, my lord. I'll keep that in mind as I cross-examine the witness. Okay, I definitely know what we're gonna... Because there was a 20-minute window. Because of the drill, I remember. A year ago, when Kazuma was still in Japan then.
Correct. It was at the examination center for applicants for study tour that I approached him. I'll never forget it. I remember exactly what you said. You just came out and asked me forthright if I considered traveling to Britain on an assassination mission.
Surely not.
I thought it was a joke at first, of course, but then... It was made clear to me that I didn't accept. I wouldn't be considered for the study tour.
Yeah! So, you agreed to it just for that? I mean, I know how much you wanted to study in England, but... Assassination? Yeah, it's like, would you just agree to that, Argo?
I don't know. The Empire of Japan had accepted a proposal from the British Empire at the time. An agreement to send a student from each country to the others to deepen cultural understanding of and friendship. But behind the scenes, the chosen students were to be given assassination missions. I had no choice but to accept the proposal that originated from my British counterpart.
Why? Why didn't you expose the plot there and then?
Probably had something on him. Not sure what, but definitely had some dirt on him.
Britain acknowledged no part in these alleged misbegotten dealings.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
I advise you not to make spurious allegations, foreign Mr. Jikoku.
Like, literally, can they make it more obvious that it's just him? Like, it's just him.
As a witness, I am bound to tell the truth, my lord.
Like, the tension between them is, you can cut it with a knife. Like, it's just, you know.
It's just between judge being a judge, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I picked Asogi and explained the details of the plan to him.
Nice. Wait, Kasuma, why did you pick him as the assassin?
He was the most capable of all applicants, and in addition, I knew his desire to travel to Britain was very strong. In fact, it was almost more than a desire. It was the whole purpose in life.
Yes, as his best friend, I can certainly attest to that. When he threw himself to his studies, the way he pursued becoming qualified as a lawyer. It was all ultimately for that single goal of being accepted on a study tour to Britain.
And of course, we know the reason behind that. He was determined to find out for himself the truth about his father, Hinshin Asogi.
There is nothing I would have done to get here. It's not agreeing to assume the role of assassin, or betraying people's trust. Well, you certainly did a fine job of betraying mine, Asogi.
But why was Inspector Gregson the target?
I have no idea. They were the orders from Britain. I was in no position to question them. You have no idea, really. I find that hard to believe. Oh, do you?
Judge Chikoku was once a visiting student here in Britain himself, of course. Perhaps he has some connection with Inspector Gregson from that time.
The defense really ought to catch up.
With what?
With the fact that the assassin exchange has absolutely nothing to do with the case under scrutiny here.
Disagree.
Yes, I've already admitted to recruiting Asogi. However, in the end, something happened that Envy was unable to carry the assassination.
I presume you're referring to the incident that occurred during Kazuma's passage to Britain in January. Where he definitely died. The awful tragedy that took place on the steamship.
Word arrived at the ministry some 2 weeks after the ship's departure from our shores. A visiting student had been killed, but his body had somehow gone missing in Hong Kong. The news was wired to me from a detective I placed on a ship to accompany the assassin.
Hosonaga! Obviously, Kazuma didn't actually die at all. But he did lose his memory, including all details about his special mission.
Did you not consider dispatching another assassin at that point? That wasn't possible, simply because that black-clad young student over there had already put himself forward as a soggy replacement.
Oh, that was Herlock's plan. I get it.
And there was no way to stop him from reaching Britain.
Ah! How smart of her Herlock Sholmes.
My hands were completely tied.
Herlock Sholmes, du.
And Mr. Sholmes' strategy worked perfectly.
Yup. Absolutely amazing. Good job. He predicted everything that would happen.
Months later, my memory returned. I never intended to go through with the assassination mission anyway. You were playing me right from the outset, were you? Is that it? I'd sooner be guilty of that crime than of taking someone else's life.
Oof.
I was prepared to do whatever I had in order to get myself here to Britain.
Even lie.
This line of questioning has gone long enough.
Ah.
All the court should be concerned about is the testimony given by its witness. Are details regarding the relationship between Inspector Gregson and the victim's murder. In that case, as I've already made perfectly clear, I had no connection to the man or his death. And you have some means of substantiating this plea.
Outside your cabin in the first-class area of the SS Grouse, you mean?
Yes, that's right. Not least because there was a murder of a student passenger earlier in the year, I imagine. Liner operations have taken the opposing crewmen outside every first cabin door. I can confirm the presence of a crewman guard myself.
Yeah, but I think you're lying. What do you mean?
Because I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk that night, I witnessed it with my own eyes. There was a well-built crewman standing guard directly in front of the door
Ah, yes.
to the witness cabin.
Ah, yes, Mr. Chicken. Good old boy Chicken.
At that particular time, of course, I'd gone to the ship's dining room for dinner. The inspector and I asked the crewman to also allow us to the cabin while we waited for that Chica to return.
I suppose Inspector Gregson was there in his capacity as the Reaper. He was intending to take the witness's life.
Exactly, as I've said numerous times now, I had no intention of killing anyone.
So the crewman let two potential assassins into the cabin he was supposed to be guarding? Huh. Not the most convincing of sentries, really. I know! Wow, you're so good at your job.
In truth, those were my thoughts too.
Contemplating Asogi. This is a very contemplating Asogi. Has he ever made this face before? You know what, I'm just gonna clip it, because I don't know if he'll ever make this face again. Like, this specific angle, I don't think I've ever seen him do that before. Like, he always does it to the other side, with his eyes looking down. But here he's very like, you know? And I love that. Oh god, I caught him right mid-blink. That looked funny. Looked very funny. Asogi Fink. Perfect. I would make it a thumbnail for tomorrow, but I can't. Because it's a spoiler. Ah, rip my life.
Anyway, I stayed to talk with Inspector Gregson for a short while. And I left him there and made my way off the ship alone.
Was the guard still at the door when you went?
Yes, he glared at me as I walked past. You see, that proves it.
I already know what's gonna happen, but... The crewman was standing directly outside your cabin door, you mean?
That's right. A muscular man with a permanent grim expression on his face. He didn't once move from that spot. To be honest, I thought he was a miserable fellow. But as it happens, he's a vital witness now. There's no doubt that Gregson was killed by a gunshot. And it's inconceivable that the crewman standing just outside the cabin door wouldn't have heard that.
But wait, what about the ship's enormous steam engines? The noise of them could have drowned out the sound of the gun being fired.
Sadly, young judicial assistant, that won't rush.
Oh!
You'll recall that my cabin was the first class area of the ship, which is also, of course, the quietest. Don't imagine for a moment that it's anything like this steerage where the judicial assistants go.
Jesus Christ, why do people keep being so mean to her? She does not deserve that at all.
I didn't mean...
But a hole like that made by a bullet was found in your... But a hole like that made by a bullet was found in your cabin, Judge Jigoku. That's compelling evidence that a gun was fired in there.
What's that? A bullet hole? Oh yes, you're talking about what the detective uncovered in the wall yesterday, I presume. That was obviously a rotten panel eaten out by a woodworm. No doubt he didn't find an actual bullet.
Maybe she took it out. Ugh! It's the hole in this argument.
Sadly, I was unable to arrange a crewman to be brought back to Britain with me. Obviously, if a gun had been fired in my cabin on the night in question, as the defense implies, I would have been arrested on the spot and would never have made it to Britain in the first place. Very true. The witness logic is sound.
True, so true, bestie.
Since no gunshot was heard from the witness cabin on the night in question, you must assume that the witness is telling the truth. I'm glad you've seen sense, my lord.
I know Kazuma's already admitted to taking on this incredible assassination plot, but even so, hearing it confirmed by somebody else is still a real shock.
It's unforgivable! Using Kazuma-sama's feelings to manipulate him is agreeing to such a despicable plan.
But I think Kazuma manipulated Judge Jigoku too. He completely double-crossed him.
Oh dear. It's hard not to see that as a stroke of brilliance on Kazuma-sama's part.
One way or another, though, Gregson ended up dead. I really think that the murder must have happened aboard that steamship.
So you mean...
Judge Jigoku must be lying.
I know I shouldn't let my emotions cloud my judgment. But you must destroy him, Mr. Naruto. Eat his ass! And serve it up!
I think it's the last statement. This one. Or maybe this one. Maybe this one, actually. On the evening in question, a member of the crew was on my duty outside in my cabin at all times, but we know that isn't true because there was a drill. Following departure from the port of Dunkirk, all crew members are required to assemble on the main deck at 10 p.m. in order to review evacuation procedures. The drill will take 20 minutes. So there's a hole, right?
Yep.
Yep, there's a hole. That's not true. Yes, the court is hurt. There was a crewman posted outside Judge Jigoku's cabin. However, we can be sure that, contrary to the witness's claim, the guard wasn't there at all times.
What?
I don't think, like, the more, like, he genuinely seems confused at some of these things, so I'm like, did he actually leave? Like, maybe he was like, he wanted to kill Gregson, and then, like, just as he was gonna do it, he's like, ah, and then he gets angry and leaves, and then all of this happened after Asogi ran away like a bitch. And that's why he seems so confused. I have here a notice of a particular event that was scheduled to take place aboard the steamship on the 31st.
Where did you get that?
In your cabin, you dumbass. It's evidence gathered by Mr. Herlock Sholmes. You were acquainted yesterday, if you remember.
Sherlock Holmes again.
It's a funny face. Angry. According to this itinerary, after leaving the port of Dunkirk at exactly 10 p.m. and for a period of 20 minutes, all crewmen of the SS Grouse were to gather on deck for an evacuation drill.
All crewmen were away from their post.
And during that 20-minute interval, of course, any gunshots emanating from your cabin would have been heard by no one. Actually, the first-class cabins being isolated works against you in this case, huh? Ha! In summary, Judge Jigoku, you had ample opportunity to commit the crime.
A 20-minute window of opportunity. That's an excellent find, Ryunosuke. It amounts to nothing.
Why?
Because the witness clearly stated in his testimony that no incident occurred in this cabin.
What's that surgical logic?
Unless you have some decisive evidence that shows his testimony to be false. The accusation is nothing more than conjecture.
I have a good idea. Is
Very
this where
true.
the bit bob
Well,
comes
counsel?
in? That the incident occurred. If we can prove it with the bowler, we need to prove somehow that... Okay. I'm so sorry. Why am I yawning so much? Inspector Gregson was killed in Judge Jigoku's cabin that night. I'm certain of it. Because the defense has the evidence to prove it. Is this where the bit bob comes in? Come on, I want to present the bit bob. Let me present the bit bob.
You'll present the evidence for the defense at once, counsel.
Bit bob!
What proof do you have that the victim's life was taken in Jokiku's cabin on 31st October?
Right. It has to be this one. Because they're claiming that Gregson was never there, right?
Yep.
It's gotta be the bit bob. The bit bob proves he was there. All hail the bit bob. Also, for anyone coming in, I'm so sorry about the frame rate. We'll take a little break soon and see if I can like reconnect or something and fix it. Judge Jigoku, this was found in your cabin yesterday. It's a little bit bob.
What is that? The crown of a pocket watch.
No, shut up! It's a bit bob.
A pocket watch?
And if you will observe, the victim's pocket watch, which we know he treasured, is missing its crown. It's missing precisely that part.
It can't be.
Moreover, this crown is a perfect fit on the spindle protruding from the victim's watch. Oh shit. Now, the fact that this was retrieved from Judge Jigoku's cabin tells us that the victim's watch almost certainly broke there. In other words, the victim was killed on the 31st during the 20-minute evacuation drill in the cabin occupied by you, Judge Jigoku. Get fucked!
Well, you're razor sharp, aren't you? You young murderer.
Why are you calling me a murderer? Dude, projection much?
Expertly maneuvered, Ryunosuke.
Praise me.
Your argument sounds entirely plausible. At first,
Great. What now?
but rather like this pocket watch, it's full of cracks.
What?
And I believe that Jigoku feels the same way.
It's about the body's decomposition, for sure.
I was wrong to acquit you earlier in the year.
Sorry?
If I know that it would result in anyone having to listen to this drivel, I would have declared you guilty just to spare the world, you ridiculous bombast.
Oh my gosh, shut up. You're so mean.
I think it's clear that the witness will have to give further testimony. And you hear what actually happened in my cabin that night. you'll notice the pitfall into which you stumbled. Prior to your renewed testimony, I would like to clarify one point. The fact that this part of the victim watch was discovered in your cabin means that you acknowledge that he was there, I presume? Yes, I do. Very well then. You may proceed to give your formal testimony about what exactly happened in your cabin aboard the ship on the evening of 31st October. Of course, as a man of law, I have no intention of obstructing justice.
Okay, let's see what it's gonna be this time. The events in the cabin.
I had a guest waiting for me when I returned to my cabin after finishing my evening meal in the dining room. When I walked through the door, a mustached Englishman was there, foolishly waving and guiding me. I soon took care of him, and upon saw it through, though he couldn't wait to run away after that.
I can kind of picture what kind of move that might be.
I imagine his watch was broken when I threw him over my shoulder. It has nothing to do with his murder. The inspector was clearly killed having returned to Britain because his body was found in London.
Do you know the concept of moving someone? No? Okay.
Iponsei.
Like I can't help but imagine that it's something where you like take someone's body weight and just like whoosh, yeet them. But
A common jiu-jitsu maneuver or technique in my country. I was careful not to use too much force, but the man obviously landed too heavily for his watch to take.
No, I'm curious. What does it look like? Iponsei nugget. Yeah, it's the one. I think it's the one that the people in I'm not sure if it's the exact same, but it's the one that those guys the people from Detective Conan also knows. It's where you grab them by the arm and you grab their arm over your shoulder and then use that momentum to like yeet them. If that makes sense. Like, you basically take them from your back and sling them all the way over to your front. Sounds really cool. It's classified as a hand-throwing technique. Just thought that was interesting to know.
I imagine you can see the flaw in your logic now, can't you?
No. Because I'm still right. Fuck you. What?
The fact that the pocket watch was broken in the witness cabin in no way proves that the victim's murder took place there.
Ah! Ow.
I've no doubt the inspector intended to kill me, but he didn't manage to pull the trigger. Yes, because he was merely the tactician, not the reaper hand of death. Well, the testimony appears to make perfect sense as far as I can tell.
Uh-huh.
Let me express my deep gratitude for your understanding, my lord.
But if this testimony holds, Judge Jigoku will be deemed to have had no involvement in the case.
Well, counsel, I really see no reason for wasting precious court time there on a cross-examination.
Ow!
Sorry, my lord. The defense has the right to cross-examine. And I don't intend to squander that.
An embarrassment to your countrymen, not knowing when you were beaten. In that case, proceed, Mr. Naruhodo.
Okay. Now we need to prove the connection. Because the so-called guard posted at your cabin door had just let your killer pass, you mean?
Apparently, Jackson told the crewman he was police inspector, which was the truth, of course.
He wouldn't have had his identification with him, though.
Plus his trench coat and mustache, not to mention the bag of chips. I imagine the crewman was convinced.
Chicken, my dude! You're way too gullible! But the men accompanying him would have had 2 swords slung around his waist. Double sword.
You mean me?
Yes, you! Who else? Who else? Asogi? Who the fuck else?
Yes, that's true. You would have hoped the sight of a few swords might have set alarm bells in the guard's head. The point is, I left the cabin before the occupants returned, but I immediately disembarked the ship.
That's a lie, though! How could you... I don't know. Or what, did you have an argument with Gregson before? What's going on?
Certainly. All I can tell you, only the inspector was waiting for me when I arrived back at my cabin.
Like, you were just like, oh yeah, I was there for 10 minutes, and in those 10 minutes I just, I just fucked the shit out of Gregson's trunk. Like... Dude, please.
You entered without any winking of suspicion. That's right, none whatsoever.
Uh-oh, we're fucked. Okay, we're back. Obviously, you're talking about Inspector Gregson.
Yes. Well, at the time I didn't know the man's name. And there was no time for introductions. I value my life over manners.
Fair. By which you mean that the Inspector was there to assassinate you, I suppose?
That was certainly the impression given by the gun pointing in my direction.
Pew pew! Pew pew!
But I've never seen muzzle of a revolver shake about so much in all my life. Anyone would think that the man had never shot somebody before.
Oh wow, what a thing to be smug about. Unlike I, fucking Jigoku shooter of men. Oh god. Okay, are we back now? God, no, yes? Okay. Believe it or not, most of us haven't.
Anyway, there was no time to call for help. The crewman at the door, so I dealt with the man myself. I soon...
Even though the man had a gun? That was a very brave move, wasn't it?
My Ipponsei is far faster than the bullet, I can assure you.
But surely that commotion caused the crewman to come in, didn't it?
Yes, of course. He burst immediately without knocking. The inspector hurled himself at the stout fellow and just managed to slip past him to make his escape.
The outstanding guard does it again.
Luckily, there aren't many situations I can get out of using a quick Ipponsei throw.
The crown snapped off, and the glass covering the face of the watch was cracked.
Preferable to the man's head being pulled off his spine cracking, would you say? Not that the man was spared for long, but we just saw to that. The point is, the broken pocket watch doesn't prove that murder took place. Absolutely not. All the watch proved that the power of my jujitsu throw.
Whatever you say, it doesn't quite ring true that no shot was fired in that cabin. Because there was an obvious bullet hole in the wall.
What are you talking about? That's what the star of your lowbroke detective stories told you, is it? Well, I don't care for such fiction. Haven't you worked it out like you're just stripling? No murder took place in my cabin.
Yes, it did! But there's no evidence that proves the victims ever returned to London alive.
Just take a moment to think that idea of yours to now, stripling.
What?
If the inspector was killed on a steamship in France, how on earth could he be? He could have go back to Britain. When people die, their bodies remain on the same spot. It's a devil of a thing.
Well, then, obviously culprit must have moved the body.
How exactly?
In your giant fucking trunk?
Carrying a corpse of a ship in your arms would raise a few eyebrows at least, don't you think?
In the big trunk? Well, yes, that's true, but...
All passengers' luggage is inspected when it's unloaded from arriving vessels.
Unless you're a fancy bitch like the fucking Minister of... Sorry.
And I would like to think that the border police would query the corpse of an English gentleman as hand luggage. If the murder had taken place aboard the ship, you would imagine the body would have been disposed at the sea. There would be no sense in risking being caught by attempting to transport the body back to Britain.
Ugh. Let's kill that idea then. No, he had a big trunk and it was not inspected.
But perhaps not.
Mrs. Sato?
We've heard that the first-class passengers were under constant scrutiny by the crewmen posted to guard them, which would mean that the culprit had no opportunity to dispose of the body in the sea.
Yes, that's true. So transporting the body to Britain may have been the only viable alternative.
Dear me, you really are new to this, aren't you?
Ugh!
Thought I'd be perfectly clear, but it seems I'm going to have to explain in words you can understand. I think I ought to alter my testimony, with your consent, of course. I have no objection. State your amendment testimony now. There's no possible way I could have transported the victim's corpse back to Britain.
Well... Should I present it? I really want to present it. Should I present it?
Yep.
Nice. Sorry. I was waiting with that trunk, man. There's no possible way you could have moved Inspector Greggson's body, you say? I would say the opposite is true.
And what that's supposed to mean?
You are the only person capable of moving Gregson's body off of the ship. That's what I think. Far from being impossible for you to do. The transporting of Inspector Gregson's body back, the transporting of Inspector Gregson's body back to Britain is something only you could do. I agree. Because I remember when we were talking in the hotel lobby when that picture was taken. And Mikotoba was like, oh, it was so annoying having to go through border control. I wish I didn't have to do it like you, Jigoku. You're so fucking lucky. Remember that? Because I remember that.
What are you talking about, Ryunosuke?
Exactly what I fucking said. As well as being a judge, Mr. Jigoku is also Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs. Which means he's exempt from having his luggage searched when he enters the country. Oh yeah, you realized? I'm winning. We learned that when we first met upon your arrival in London. Yeah, here it is. Where?
Well, all those passport checks and luggage searches at the border took rather a lot of time. I must say, I'm very envious of your ministerial status. You didn't have to go through any of that, did you? Ah, I knew you were jealous.
I presume you recall this, Judge Jigoku? this very incriminating photo. It's a photograph we took in the foyer of the hotel to mark the occasion. As the court will note, you have with you your large travel trunk. Large enough, in fact, to have a corpse inside.
Mr. Naruhodo, surely you're not suggesting...
Yes, Gregson's body was in there. Great. He's here in the picture. We're 5 people. That's nice. I'm afraid I am, yes. 3 days ago, when we were chatting innocently with the new arrivals from Japan in the hotel. The body of Inspector Gregson was just meters away from us. Inside Judge Jigoku's trunk. Oh shit, caught him red-handed. Caught in 4K.
Order in court.
Well, actually, it's like not 4K because there are like 5 frames on the stream right now. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make light of it because it's kind of sad.
I'm skeptical, counsel, that a grown man's body could fit inside even the largest travel trunk.
It could, yeah, we proved it because Jigoku himself was found inside it. Because I happen to know that the witness himself, a man of considerable size, fits inside his trunk. And verifying that would be extremely simple, wouldn't it, Judge Jigoku? You want to try fitting into it right now, No?
But inside his trunk? How horrifying!
And after we'd spoken with you at the Great Waterloo Hotel, you had the opportunity to witness visit the apparent scene on Fresno Street, taking your trunk with you in a cab to deposit the inspector's body.
I don't have to listen to this nonsense.
Dr. Gori, the coroner who examined the body, has confirmed the possibility. She's acknowledged that there are signs that steps may have been taken to disguise the true time of death. The onset of the body's decomposition could have been delayed by storing it in a refrigerator, which would exist on such a ship.
Counsel, as I remember explaining yesterday, the refrigerators of the requested site are few and far between.
Yes, I'm sure they are. But one place they're certainly found is on large ocean liners. Didn't figure that one, huh? Such ships are equipped with electrically refrigerated cold rooms to keep food fresh on the long sea voyages. And the SS Grouse is no exception. Professor Mikotoba told me about it only yesterday. Well, Judge Jigoku? However much you prolong this debate, you can't eliminate the truth. All the evidence points to you being the killer.
Well, this is all very heartening.
Disheartening or just heartening? What? Ah!
I can say that it was a wise move letting Asogi and you embark on this study tour. What are you talking about now? Logical reasoning, of course. All court proceedings will be built on logical reasoning in the new century. And I can see that you've both laid a firm foundation for that already.
Man, imagine being like, you caught me murdering.
Judge Jigoku, please! Stop diverting attention from the issue at hand. The defense has made an accusation against you. How do you respond?
Respond? There's really no need for to respond.
Why ever not?
Because before you can even begin to answer that question of when the victim was killed, you must first establish one key fact. Where was the victim killed? It's quite logical.
The actual scene of the crime. Well, I mean, it was in the room on the
The prosecution stance is unaltered. The killing took place in Fresno Street when the gunshot was heard. As the accused, Baron von Zig shot the victim at point-blank range.
Sure.
Since no tangible evidence exists to disprove the prosecution claim at this time, defense deductions amount to little more than an elaborate fairy tale. I'm afraid that's how the logic reasoning the British are known for really works, young stripling.
the victim was shot in that little room on Fresno Street and died instantly. I'm afraid it's the prosecution's claim. That's the only fairy tale here.
How can you say that?
Quite simply. Because that claim directly contradicts a certain piece of evidence in our possession.
Very tantalizing, counsel. I think I'd better explain yourself to the court, don't you?
The prosecution claims that Inspector Gregson died instantly when he was shot at the scene in Fresno Street. But this evidence clearly contradicts that claim. Uh-oh. Okay, let me just... No. 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 I don't know. I'm actually kind of lost on this one. No, I don't know. Cargo, any help?
What was the statement, actually?
It was, the prosecution claims that Inspector Gregson died instantly when he was shot at the scene, but we have something that contradicts that.
Yes,
like,
picture of the dead body.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking that there was something about it, but I just... Yeah, it's the hand. It's this hand that's giving me weird vibes. The fingers look weird.
A photograph of the victim in the very location you claim he wasn't killed.
Oh, is it because he's curled up? Oh! Pfft, of course. If you were just shot and fell, you wouldn't be so crumpled. That makes no sense. Yes, but the point is the posture of the body itself. Right, it just hit me. If Inspector Gregson had been shot there in that room, it's out of the question that his body would have been curled up in a ball like that. Yeah, that's right. Like, it makes no sense, because if he died instantly, it isn't like he would have had time to do this.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but your logic is flawed. He could have easily adopted that fetal position due to the pain of the shot, which subsequently proved fatal.
He died instantly! What? That makes no sense. I'm sorry to disappoint you, Judge Shikoku, but it's your logic that's flawed.
What?
According to this autopsy report, the victim died instantly. He would have felt no pain, much less have been able to draw himself into that position.
Oh!
Which begs the question of why the victim's body is curled up in that way. Though, the answer should be abundantly clear by now.
You're suggesting.
He would have been, yeah, because he would have been stiff as a board by the time that they got him to the apartment. The inspector's body took on that posture ahead of its arrival on Fresno Street, before it was coldly turned out on the floor. From the inside of a large travel trunk.
Oh!
You're quite right. The shape of the body looks exactly as if it had been kept in a confined space.
Yeah, because, like, by the time that they took him out, he would have been stiff, right? Judge Chikuku, present your trunk for examination. I believe it's very possible that it will contain traces of the victim's blood. Is he gonna break this witness stand again? Please.
Present my trunk. I refuse.
I mean, he probably can refuse, right?
What?
On what grounds? He just refuses.
I'm the Minister of Foreign Affairs from the Empire of Japan.
He just refuses, guys.
I shouldn't have put up with this treatment just because of some stripling baseless accusation.
In other words, Judge Jikoku, there's blood in your trunk.
I decline to answer that. As the Minister of Foreign Affairs,
At this moment, you're not a government minister. You're a witness in a trial of Britain's highest court. I don't care who you are, or what your status outside this courtroom might be. You will not withhold information. Jesus. Oh my god, Yu-chan, you're growing. Nothing is more important than the truth. That was very, spicy.
Ah! Order in court. Well, Mr. Jiku, what is to be? Can't be serious. You did it?
He didn't. He doesn't know. I knew it. He is not aware of this. It's like you can't be like he didn't. He actually. Oh my god, that's so interesting. Until this point, until this very moment, he actually genuinely believes that it was Van Siegs. Now he's like Jikoku, you fucking did it, you motherfucker. I love that reaction. That's so good.
Have you no shame at all, Kazuma Asogi?
That was actually glorious. It was actually glorious.
What? Very well, I admit it. I did bring the inspector's body into the country. Inside my trunk, exactly as postulated by the defense.
Oh jeez. Okay. What?
Dear God, outrageous!
So it was you! You convicted Inspector Gregson's...
No! I admit to nothing more than what I said.
Ah!
Of killing the man, I certainly have no recollection. What on earth is that cryptic statement supposed to mean?
He's gonna accuse Asogi here. 100%.
I merely disposed of the inspector's body, which was left in my cabin.
Yep.
In order to avoid unwanted attention.
Yep.
As the judicial assistant over there pointed out, I had no chance to throw it into the ocean. So I decided my only option was to bring it into Britain with me and dispose it somewhere else.
You can't still deny it. If you didn't do it, then who on earth did kill the man?
As you know, there was one other person in my cabin that night. He had the opportunity. And moreover, he already accepted a mission to take the inspector's life.
Oh no! He does have a point, Asogi.
That's right. Who else could it have been? It was you, Kazuma Asogi. Chottomate. You.
Timmy. Yeah. Oh, you motherfucker!
Duel me! I never thought you'd stop to this, Seishiro Jigoku. Hey, you've taken the words straight out of my mouth. Prosecutor, Kazuma Asogi.
Jesus Christ.
You thought by leaving the body in my cabin you would put the crime on me, did you? Well, the prosecution counsel has already admitted to visiting the witness cabin on the night in question.
Oops. That is a big whoopsie doodle.
Yes, on an assassination mission, no less. You wouldn't. So, what do you make of that, young stripling? You've heard my testimony now, and that's all I have to say on the matter. I admit nothing more.
I don't believe this.
Counsel for the defense. As is your position now, the court awaits your response to the witness assertion. The assertion that on night in question the victim assailant was in fact Mr. Kazuma Asagi.
This isn't a dead end, it seems to be. Yes, it's right in front of me. Comes down to Jigoku, or Kazuma. Both of them had the opportunity to kill Grayson, but only one of them did it. And I'm just a step away from proving who. Very well. The defense is ready to respond to the assertion put forward by Judge Jigoku. The idea that the victim's murder could have been committed by Prosecutor Asogi is... Well, I think this is a good time as I need to take a bit of a short break to like refresh and stuff. Get some refreshments. I ran out of drink a long time ago. So I think it's a good time. And I will try to fix the connection in that little span of time too. And then we will be back to answer the age-old question of who done it. See you guys in a few minutes. Hi again, we return. It does not seem to have worked, and it just restarted the stream with no fixes. Actually, I wanted to ask, like, is this like replicated on the recording of the stream as well?
If it's network, then no.
Okay. Okay. Then at least, at the very least, the VOD is gonna be okay. So I guess that's a thankful coincidence. Let me just do this. Well, whether it was okay, let's just keep going. Keep going, keep going. I'm kind of stumped on this a little bit. Like, are we gonna say that it's impossible?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it. Because I don't think it was him. Judge Jikoku, let me remind you of something you said only a few minutes ago. You claimed that logical reasoning is the future of the judicial process. I'm really sorry, everyone.
It is, no question.
Well, logical reasoning can prove something here. Namely, that it would have been impossible for Prosecutor Asogi to commit the crime.
What? The court will only accept an argument that is supported by compelling evidence.
Okay.
So present what you have, counsel. What proof is there that allegedly demonstrate that the impossibility of Prosecutor Asogi involvement?
The trunk? No. I mean, my guess is maybe the sword, but I'm not sure.
No.
No, okay, it's not the sword. The trunk?
No.
No.
It was something you already presented.
The photograph?
No.
This picture? No. The bip pop?
No.
The watch?
No.
The picture? This picture?
You already asked.
Yes. Why does this picture prove it? Is that a no?
No, you already asked me. I said no for this picture.
Okay, the autopsy report?
No.
Um,
I said it's something you already presented.
this?
No.
This?
Yes.
I don't know why, but okay, this is the proof! This itinerary for crew members of the SS Scouts, my lord. This is conclusive proof.
An itinerary? How does that prove anything?
Judge Jikoku, the moment you acknowledged that you found the victim's body in your cabin, this itinerary suddenly became much more significant. Oh! Are we gonna say that he'd already left by that point? Right. So,
Yep.
so the murder was committed at 10 p.m. So if we can confirm that Asogi left before that, then, definitely.
What? Why?
I get it. On the night in question, as always, a crewman sentry was on guard outside your cabin door. As long as he was there, nobody could have fired a shot inside the cabin.
Absolutely. Because it's inconceivable that a guard would have heard and come to investigate.
So that tells us that the crime must have taken place when the guard was elsewhere. And that narrows it down to the 20 minutes just after 10 o'clock is indicated on the itinerary.
Yes, I see no flaw in your reasoning so far.
But the crucial point is this: when the evacuation drill took place, the steamship had already put to sea! Right! Yeah. I get it now! The fog has lifted! Sorry. Let me just, I'm just unpublishing the void. Because it's a bit hectic. It do indeed be a mess. And I can okay. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna upload this VOD to Twitch afterwards. I am so sorry about all the issues today. I'm just gonna upload the VOD after it's recorded, and I will apologize for my transgressions, or more accurately, my internet transgressions. I'm also kind of annoyed that I'm kind of forced to pay for it, and I'm like, I really want to call and complain because this keeps happening. Like, this keeps happening over and over again. And the first months and months when I was streaming with my other internet, it didn't happen. So why is this happening now, you know? Now, clearly the murder could only have been committed by somebody who was aboard the vessel at the time. And Asogi. Prosecutor Asogi stated in yesterday's proceedings. Me was elsewhere. There's
I didn't
proof.
Come to because like anyone's life. So I left Gregson and disembarked the ship. I spent that night at the boarding house in town and returned to England the following morning.
Exactly. Which I'm sure the court will agree is conclusive proof that Kazuma Asogi couldn't possibly have carried out the killing. I swear to God, I'm waiting for.
Absolutely not. I don't accept that at all.
I'm waiting for when the hand is just gonna crack it in half. It's so poetic. It's like, what do you mean?
The boy's just saying that extortionate himself. Obviously, after he left my cabin, he laid himself somewhere nearby on ship. Just waiting for this chance to come back in.
No, that's out of the question. Isn't it, Kazuma?
Other defense rifle recalls. I disembarked the vessel and spent the night in boarding house in Duncan.
What a good boy. I mean, you're still kind of a bad boy, but a good boy.
And as I said yesterday, I signed my name in the accommodation register book. An extremely easy to verify and undeniable proof. No,
Mina wins. There's no escape this time. You can forget that you're a judge or government minister. It's time you gave the court an honest answer, as a common man. It's coming! It's coming! It's gonna bring it! You can expect it to be Tobias. I'm sorry. My brain just switched to Danish there. No, it's so bad. That's how you would say that name in Danish. It's just like blah. It just came out. Okay. Hello, Talon. Hello, thank you for coming to support my low res stream. It's okay, we will upload a proper VOD afterward. Please, no worries. You killed Inspector Tobias Gregson and transported his corpse back to Britain. Tobias. Thank you, I will hydration. Thank you. Then you dumped the body in the room on Fresno Street and made it look as if the murder had happened here, there, here, there. That's what really happened, isn't it? Say Shiro Chikoku! Dun, 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 dun. Here comes, come on.
it was that damn trial 10 years ago. That's when it all began.
Yes!
Looking back now, my fate was decided that day. I was doomed already.
Here comes.
Oh!
Yes! I love it. Wait, what? Wait, what?
It's over. My life is over.
How did he? That's an epic breakdown.
A British assassin to eliminate a professor in Japan. A Japanese assassin to eliminate a detective in Britain.
It's pretty great.
Both assassins will use diplomatic immunity to evade the conviction and return safely to their homelands.
No, there's no witness.
Assassin exchange request arrived from Britain about 1 year ago.
And now, on top of a murder, you have done the much worse crime of property damage.
Well, it was hardly a request, it was a demand.
And for that, you decided to recruit Mr. Asogi. quite like. I'm sorry, I like this one. I think this is. Yeah, this is me. Okay. But things didn't go according to plan. Your chosen assassin never made it to Britain. And you found yourself unable to dispatch a replacement because of me. Because I was already on my way to Britain at that time, in Casima's place.
And that left me only one option for carrying out my obligation.
Doing it himself.
To eliminate the mark myself, personally. Of course, there was but a single opportunity for me to do that.
The International Forensic Science Symposium, I presume.
That's right. I decided it would be safest to carry out the plan before my arrival in Britain. So I enlisted the help of my British counterpart. And made arrangements for a pretext that would take the inspector to Dunkirk. To lure the man, he was given a sham mission by the Reaper.
Yeah, okay. What? The Reaper? Yep. Okay, and this is where we're gonna go after,
There's only one person who could have done that. The mastermind of the entire operation. The Reaper himself.
Yeah. And that's not Van Siegs. Asogi. Ah!
So, that means that the assassin exchange was... It was all planned by the Reaper.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
I'm not at liberty to say anything about my British counterpart. Anyway, the inspector accepted the Reaper mission and dutifully infiltrated my cabin.
Like, okay, so the way that I see it, right? It's completely unrealistic at this point that it is Van Siegs, because I cannot fathom in what fucking world Van Siegs would have a hand over this guy. He's just a prosecutor. Like, he's a good one, but he's a prosecutor. Like, he doesn't
I use
have...
my devil's charms.
Yeah. It's my devil, yeah. He just doesn't have that kind of power, right? It has to be Strongheart. There's no one else who could command a fucking minister in this goddamn room.
Really? So it was all a trap designed to lead him to France and his own death.
His death.
Oh, how awful.
It was past 9 o'clock when I returned to the camp from the dining hall that evening. I didn't give him time to attack me. I choked him until he lost consciousness. But there was a guard just outside the door. So I left it all for the time being. Even the slightest noise might have aroused suspicion, so I bided my time and waited.
For the 20 minutes after 10 o'clock.
I had intended to finish him by strangulation, but moments before I had the chance. He suddenly came around and went to me at reckless move.
I see. Bang.
I'd received the British issue gun 16 years earlier, being a member of the judiciary as a visiting student. I never imagined I had to use it for something like that.
Wild.
Well, the revolver belongs to you, does it?
Huh, okay. Then, the victim was killed inside your cabin on the SS Grouse. Which begs the question of why you arranged for his body to be discovered in the room on Fresno Street.
The young judicial assistant over there has already answered the question. There was no way I could take the body up with their control over the seaside. That's precisely where all the crewmen were gathered for the evacuation. For the first class cabin sentry's return, I took the corpse to the refrigeration.
And then, on arriving in Dover, you concealed the body in your trunk in order to smuggle it past the border police,
I knew I needed to take steps if the police were to be convinced when the body was found in London. In that case, you must have known. You must have had intimate details of the Inspector Gregson's invented schedule.
Yeah, someone would have had to give that to you.
Yes, my British counterpart said me everything I need to know. The inspector was due at Fresno Street at 5 o'clock that afternoon, in order to meet a man by the name of Hugh Boone, from whom he would take back his police identification.
Yeah. Ah!
I decided that man would be the perfect person to set up as a culprit. So I took Hackney carriage over there with the body still in my trunk.
That must have been just after we took this photograph of you at the hotel room.
Yes, I was expecting a welcome committee. I was more than a little nervous.
Oh yeah, good.
On Fresno Street, I spotted a young girl standing with her firearms.
Miss Venus, of course.
I conceived the candle trick there and then. So I donned a simple disguise and approached the girl to buy enough firecrackers to replicate a gunshot.
The red hair.
What sort of disguise?
Definitely the red hair.
For some reason, the inspector had bright red hairpiece in his own traveling place. So I put that on, although I suspect I drew more attention to myself in that than I would have otherwise.
The hairpiece we found at the scene. The inspector had it ready for the Red-Headed League investigation.
I only arrived at the room at around 4:45. So I quickly placed the body on the floor, moved the notice board and set up my little candle. I arranged it so the firecrackers would go off with a bang around 15 minutes later.
That all makes sense.
That Mr. Boone, who was due to arrive at 5, would walk straight to a trap. Except, at the last moment, I made a careless blunder.
Yeah. What was that?
I imagine it was the bag of fish and chips.
Ah!
I didn't notice that it had fallen out of his overcoat pocket when I moved the body to the refrigeration. I put it back in his pocket the following morning, but,
Too late.
well, it seems the world of the heated cabin had accelerated the decay of the fish. Anyway, that's everything. All the sordid details of what I did.
He still isn't. Where the sense just gone. Poof.
I've heard enough.
I'm sure you have. You don't want him to say anything incriminating.
You've arrived at the truth about the murder of one of the country's most capable and respected police inspectors. The witness will be tried in the coming days. For a crime of such vile nature, you can expect the most severe penalty.
An exchange of assassins. What a foolhardy idea.
Mr. Chigoku, one last detail. Who was your counterpart in Britain? Who was the mastermind behind the assassination exchange? Nothing you say now can make matters any worse for you. Just tell us!
Enough! I've already told you, but I cannot say. Even though a thing stands, you may very well never set foot in your homeland again. What are you waiting for? Can't we get this over with now? It's finished. All of it. I'm finished. Then, in the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I now pronounce the finding of this court. This man before us has admitted to the willful murder of Tobias Gregson.
How does he do that? Just the reverberations from his unicorn goes, guilty.
Shishiro Jikoku, it is the opinion of this court that you should be found
But,
guilty.
sir? Wasn't this
And
the-
I remind all of those present of the strict confidentiality demanded by this closed court.
Silence.
Moments ago, Mr. Jikoku signed a written confession,
Sorry.
admitting to the murder of Inspector Gregson and the subsequent conveyance of the body. In short, the defendant's innocence has therefore been established beyond doubt.
Yay! He's not happy.
Oh, wonderful. Well done, Mr. Know-it-all.
Yes, thank you?
Is something wrong?
I'm just a little troubled by his silence.
Why is he not talking, sir? Sir?
He's just sleeping.
The true identity of the Reaper of the Bay and this extraordinary assassin exchange. We do remain in the dark about those mysteries. However, insofar as the indictment brought against the defendant in this trial, we have reached a conclusion.
Yeah, this one I'm actually pretty sure is indictment, and I'm just like, why? English is such a why fuck you language.
I'm telling you, it's violence.
Violence. Yeah, it's like why isn't it just said violence? Why?
Why it's not testicles?
Exactly. Why isn't it?
I have every intention of pursuing both mysteries. As a prosecutor, why isn't it Tobias?
Tobias.
As you wish. Now for the formal adjudication.
It probably isn't some languages.
Yeah, like mine. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Here it's Tobias. It's like ah!
Yeah, for me it's short. It's Tobias.
Sorry.
The prosecution calls for adjudication to be deferred.
Dang!
Counsel,
I have a bigger fish to fucking fry. Strong heart.
the accused's innocence hasn't been fully established at all. And therefore, I would be wrong to deliver a verdict at this time. That is the prosecution's unwavering position.
What?
But does Jikoku's already confessed?
Nevertheless, Marek von Zix has committed crimes for which he must be punished.
Uh-huh.
Well, it would appear you have information to the court needs to hear, Prosecutor Asogi. Certainly, the murder of Inspector Gregson was actually carried out by Seshiro Jikoku. It's clear from the witness testimony that he was coerced into complying with the plot. Into this sick, merciless assassin exchange.
That may be true, but
So what I want to know is who coerced Jikoku was pulling the strings. Gasp.
gasp. Gasp.
The victim went to France having been ordered on a mission from the Reaper only to be murdered. In other words, the mastermind behind the assassin exchange is someone in a position to give such an order. As we've already established, the Reaper himself. Well, certainly, that would appear to follow. The prosecution hereby formally accuses the man in the dock, Baron von Zix, of being the Reaper of the Bailey, and furthermore, I'm going to prove his guilt beyond all reasonable doubt.
What? What?
No!
Order, order, order!
Oider. Oider. Oider
The
in
Ripper
the
of the
void.
Bailey is a long-standing mystery council. I suggest you have some new information which build the case.
Scotland Yard has already investigated Lord Mystic's very thoroughly in that regard. And they found no evidence whatsoever to substantiate the claim that he's the Reaper.
Perhaps, but circumstances have not changed.
What do you mean?
It's already been established that the assassin exchange was negotiated with GKQ by the Reaper himself. Which means we now have a new line of questioning by which to identify definitively the man's identity. That is the prosecution's intention here.
I see.
I must say I'm surprised. By quite how tenaciously you appear to want to besmirch my name.
He's not wrong.
You are guilty of unforgivable crime, Lord Van Six. And I will bring you to justice for it. Whatever it takes.
Ah.
Yes.
Yes, Pico. That explains President's silence before. He'll stop at nothing to finish what Lord Van Six has unwittingly started 10 years ago.
Very well. Why he's extremely irregular. I will, on this occasion, grant the prosecution further opportunity for witness testimony.
Damn!
The defendant will disclose any and all involvement he has with the Reaper and the Assassin Exchange. I thank you, my lord, for guiding the court so wisely.
Okay.
I hereby declare this court to be in session for a supplementary hearing.
Uh-oh.
Praying to a blind eye to the discourtesy as I verify that this vile and unremitting accusation.
Where did my list go? That is not my list. Where did my list go? Oh no. Oh no. Why am I not? Oh no!
It's a weird list with numbers, let me throw it away.
I found it! I found it. I just do not know where my pen is. It is. It is. It is. Wait, it's a wait. Oh god. I will get my goddamn pen. That's the last thing I goddamn do. I will get my pen! Wait. Oh, not here. Pen. He's definitely gonna break some shit. So I'm definitely gonna get my pen! There we go. I have my pen now.
Hasn't soured the contents of my hollow chalice.
Lord Van Six! This isn't the time to get drunk!
I first had to suffer the pseudonym of the Reaper 10 years ago now. And ever since that time I've endured the weight of the implied guilt that's gone with it.
There it is.
So I welcome the chance to testify now and crush those allegations once and for all. Good.
Good. Good. Do it.
Then that just does it decide, Lord Van Six.
I follow it from
This
here.
is to building its case by calling the accused to the stand as the primary witness, in order that he may answer the accusation brought by the prosecution that he is the Reaper of the Bay. And what says the defense?
Sure, dude.
Or
Putting the
whatever.
defendant in the witness stand can be extremely dangerous. My cousin was so emotional at the moment.
He's not thinking logically. Yeah. You're right that he's not himself. But I knew it would be like this. And I came here today determined to face him through whatever might arise. You mean tales of Orion? As a lawyer and as his friend. I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
And that's what we must do.
The defense has no objection, my lord.
Very well. Defendant, you will take the witness stand and give formal testimony on the subject of your involvement with the Reaper and the assassin exchange. As you wish, my lord.
The Reaper and the assassin exchange.
I've never taken the life of another, but I have instructed another to kill. I've been investigating the truth behind the Reaper for years, and I was aware of Gregson's involvement. That's the reason why I went to Fresno Street that day and how I came to discover the body. The point is, no common threads exist between myself, Gregson, and Dr. Wilson. Clearly, therefore, there is no reason to suspect me of getting behind the assassin.
This all makes sense.
So you deny all accusation by the prosecution. What you and the Reaper of the Bailey, and that you are the Reaper of the Bailey, and that you mastermind the assassin exchange.
How far do you think we are?
I acknowledge that the public at large believe me to be the Reaper. Like compared to what? However, that's fallacy, which I alone am in a position to forswear.
I was just thinking of how realistic it is that we'll finish tomorrow.
Post-trial is also taking some time, so... Naturally, the prosecution believes the testimony just given by the accused to be untrue.
I think we should try to push for 4. Or maybe we could also start early tomorrow. Because I feel very bad streaming when my internet is like this.
I mean, you have no guarantee it will be better tomorrow too.
Well, yeah, but I'll have more time to try and fix it. You know. Yes.
Let me ask you, why are you here? What are you doing? What is your name? Who is your father? What really brings you to this courtroom?
A desire to uncover the truth.
Even if the truth proves your client to be guilty?
From all my experiences in this courtroom, I've come to realize something. The truth can't be hidden. Sooner or later, it will come out. Because, like, before tomorrow, I would then be able to do, like, a full reset, because I can't do that while I'm on stream. Like, that takes way too long. So, that's what I was thinking of doing. So it's always my intention to work with my client in pursuit of the truth.
I want you to remember what you just said.
Same, you too, bro.
I didn't say anything. End of dilatory chatter, counsel for the defense. Proceed to cross-examine the witness.
Yes, my lord. I know exactly what you're thinking, Kazuma. I know you're just waiting to point it out. The contradiction you're convinced lies somewhere within this man's testimony. I'm assuming this is where the other parts of our evidence is going to come into play. Because we haven't really brought it up, anything about the professor. So you're not what the general public refer to as the infamous Reaper of the Bailey.
Exactly. Don't imagine for a moment that the court will be satisfied with one-word answer on this. I realize that.
If you're intending to comment on every sentence, this could take a while, Kazuma. Didn't you find it disturbing, though? The one-by-one defendants who'd been acquitted after your unsuccessful prosecution were killed?
Let me answer that question by posing another. If one-by-one defendants who've been acquitted after your successful defense were killed, would you find that disturbing?
Disturbing? I couldn't possibly say how that would make me feel with a one-word answer like that. Oh.
Exactly.
Well, that told me.
Even though I'm not the Reaper, that doesn't mean I ignored all the hearsay.
You say for years. How long exactly?
Since the very first time the Reaper influence was felt in this courtroom, 10 years ago now.
And your investigations led you somehow to Inspector Gregson, you're saying?
I didn't want to believe it. It was a personal acquaintance we'd worked on cases together in the past.
A friend, even?
It felt like betrayal, but I demanded permission to search his office at the yard without his knowledge. Which is when you found his secret notebook, is it? It's when I first learned of the location he'd noted only as grouse, and the appointment at 5 PM on the 31st. I didn't know the significance of those details at the time.
So now we're at the nub of the matter.
As it turns out, the significance for me personally was very unfortunate.
But why did you go to that specific location?
I thought that it was Reaper headquarters. Then by turning up there at 5 o'clock, I would catch whoever was involved red-handed. Sadly, all that was awaiting me was the Inspector Corpse.
Yes, even though it wasn't designed for you. You walked straight into the trap set by Jigoku.
Exactly. Jigoku had intended to implicate Hugo, but happily for me, I arrived at the scene first. Ha! A ridiculously careless blunder.
Moved on to just throwing insults around. I see it then Kazuma, and alright, he's like, at home o'clock. It's at home o'clock. Doesn't even know what to say anymore.
Think what you will, it doesn't change the truth.
Yeah, that's true. Ahsoka's really behaving like a 5-year-old in this one particularly. There is a link between you and Gregson, though.
Of course, we were close acquaintances. We worked on numerous cases together. I consider the man to be a mentor of sorts. He taught me a number of important lessons.
He did? Such as what? Where to get the best fish and chips? Yeah!
But to buy good fish and chips. As such like.
Yes! I love that this is like just a character trait he has. Well, that was convincing.
Dr. Wilson was a coroner, of course, but that was some time in the past. In any case, I understand it was several years ago now that he was invited to work in Japanese university.
Yeah, that's all true. That's right, he was a visiting professor at the Imperial Yume University in Tokyo.
It should be unambiguously clear then, there is no link exists between myself and him. In other words, I had no motive of sending some assassin across the ocean to kill the man.
Sounds possible enough, and I want to believe it. But something about this just doesn't quite sit right with me. Yeah, no, it's not like there's no... Because he was the coroner who, examined the body, right? Of his brother.
Yep.
explanation was it? So that means that at the very least they would have talked to each other during this case, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least logically speaking. But still, I like pressing all the statements because you get, you know, flavor text. So, certainly as it stands, there's no evidence to suggest that you concocted the scheme.
But as it stands, we have only the accused's insistence of his innocence.
Sorry?
Perhaps there is some reason we would explain why he masterminded the assassin exchange. And if the reason could be established later in these proceedings, then the accused claim in his testimony that he was involved would amount to perjury.
Well, yes, that's true, but...
Surely Kazuma-sama intends to identify a reason and use it to make his case.
So if we don't identify something first,
He'll gain the advantage.
this could be dangerous. I'm assuming that we should present a convincing testimony by Lord Van Seeks.
Certainly, with no apparent connection between the three men, there's no way to establish a motive. The testimony seems unassailable as far as I can see.
Yeah, so because there is a connection between Wilson and Gregson in that Gregson found the evidence because he pushed Wilson to do the autopsy, so that's how they know each other. And of course, he's an inspector, he's a coroner. They would have mingled no matter what. And then the connection between Wilson and Van Seeks is, of course, that he prosecuted the case for which said autopsy was evidence. And then the connection, of course, between Van Seeks and Gregson is that they knew each other, so definitely. No. No. No, Susie. No.
Oh dear me, what a bleak expression.
I agree, there doesn't appear to be any particular link between them, at first glance. But with the inclusion of one other person... Clint. I must be overthinking it, surely. It's Clint here.
Another person, Mr. Nerudo?
I need to think back over all the information we've gleaned so far. Yeah, because there's so much fucking evidence in this stupid case, god.
Alright, and I'll review my notes about the case and all the evidence in the court record.
Could it be that Lord Van Seeks has something to hide, after all? Yeah, okay, let's just look for them. I've never taken the life of another, but I've been investigating. We need to know about the person on the street. I think it's this one. And I think we have to present Clint's autopsy.
Yeah, it has all the names.
Exactly, it has John H. Wilson, Clint Van Seeks, and in the notes, I think it was something like... Oh, okay, but we know, I think it's... Yeah.
Yep. What is this? An autopsy report? Wait, this is 10 years old. From the autopsy of Lord Clint Van Seeks. What? My brother autopsy report?
Ah, yes, we have the updated autopsy report now, Kazuma! How does it feel?
I'm pleased to see the defense doesn't intend to run from the undeniable truth. Order in court. What reason do you have for presenting a 10-year-old autopsy report here, counsel?
Is this the autopsy report of the professor's final victim? It's an undeniable indelible? What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck? Okay, I'm gonna look that up. I hate this game. What does that mean? Making marks that can't be removed or not able to be forgotten. Okay.
You know what I call it? A freaking English major flexing.
Yeah. I mean, I would assume that among the translators you would have people who are both like English.
No, I'm thinking Ryunosuke. Oh, I studied English.
Oh, right. So it's like it's in character for him to use words like this. That's fun.
I learned those words.
I learned them. Now I'm gonna use them. It's an indelible link between Inspector Gregson, Dr. Wilson, and the defendant.
Not that accursed name again, Professor.
Yup.
I personally skipped the dialogue. I've personally researched all of the court records related to the case.
I'm sorry.
I know that
Ah! Why does it do this to me? Okay.
I know that at the time autopsy was considered sacrilege to the victim's souls.
Okay, I'm just gonna do this before I go back because I'm really angry about it now. I just had to do something with Discord and then for some reason it still like sees it as if I'm in the game. Okay, I minimized Discord finally. We're done. Okay.
And for the member of aristocracy like Lord Clint Van Six, it was unthinkable.
Oh gee, why? Oh gee. I'm not
Someone
okay anymore.
implored the powers that to be allowed the officer to go ahead. Inspector Gregson. He declared that he was certain he would obtain conclusive proof from the procedure.
And it was Dr. Wilson who conducted the autopsy. His signature is clearly visible on the document.
As promised by Gregson, the autopsy did indeed produce evidence. Evidence that conclusively proved Genshin Asogi was guilty of the murders. In my brother's dying moments, he mustered all remaining strength to leave the vital clue behind.
Okay.
Indeed, that was the key to indicting the professor for his crimes, and the conclusive evidence. It enables Lord Van Ziggs here to avenge his brother's senseless death with a marvelous victory in court. A marvelous victory, was it? Wonder if that's really true.
Yeah, he definitely thinks his dad was framed. I mean, it does seem kind of sus just from the outlook, right? Like, he's like, oh, if you search this guy's insides, you will definitely find the proof, because that's what an autopsy is, right? If you cut this guy up, you will know. That's what they're saying, right?
Mm.
But how the fuck could Gregson know that so certainly? Especially the fact, like, considering what he'd be risking if that wasn't true. So, like, seeing that as sort of, like, planted evidence it's not that far of a stretch, honestly. Like, you know, it'd be like me saying, it'd be like me, like, I don't know, like leaving a banana peel on the ground, right? And then like, I'll be like, oh, if you go to this place, you will definitely find a banana peel on the ground. And then I'll deny that I was the one who put it there, or that I'd like seen it before. I'll be like, no, I didn't. I just had a feeling it would be there. Like, right? Like, it's bullshit. It's bullshit, that's what it is. I can kind of see it. But in that case...
What?
In that case, I don't think it falls on Van Six, because he was not the original prosecutor.
It would the same be said if it turned out that the key piece of evidence in question was in fact fabricated.
I think, yeah, that makes sense.
If the inspector, the coroner, and the prosecutor all colluded together, to cast an innocent Japanese man as a mass murderer and send him to his death. That's outrageous.
Yeah, I don't think he was the one who did. I think it was... I mean, we know who it was. It has to have been Strongheart, right?
And now, 10 years later, for some reason, the secret has been threatened and needs protection. Which is why the inspector and the coroner had to be silenced, isn't it? By someone in power in Japan and Britain. Using the two killers recorded for the assassination exchange. Order at once. 10 years ago, my father was convinced in this very courtroom as a mass murderer to be sentenced to death. But it was all a sham, and I swore to myself I'd prove it. Which is why I had to come to Britain. Whatever the cost.
He's gonna crush it.
You'll have to forgive me if I feel compelled towards this vengeful Nipponese tenacity of purpose here. However,
Yep.
he who fails to quash his emotion in courtroom has failed as a lawyer.
Come on, Kazuma! You know this won't wash. You can't just say bullshit and not back it up. You're claiming your father was misrepresented in a trial that took place a whole decade ago. You must see that without evidence, that's nothing more than a wild accusation.
As it happens, I have evidence.
What?
As the court has heard, I crossed the channel to France with Gregson on the 31st. I went with him on the pretext of being the assassin recruited to kill Seishiro Jigoku. But my true intentions were to make the inspector tell me the truth.
Of what happened?
Was true.
I get it.
Let's
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about the evidence.
Just another thing, I realized that for these, like, past 3 hours we've been streaming, I've neglected to mention the Patoru that I just casually put on my overlay! There's a Patoru on my overlay.
No.
No. I wonder who put her there. That was made by, someone named, Venny, I believe. Yeah, Venny, you can see it down in my credit. Made some Patorus for people, and I got a Patoru, so now I'm showing it off proudly. I just realized I never said anything about it. I just kind of did it and just like, okay. Okay, sorry. Back to the regularly scheduled programming.
The truth about the evidence, and he acknowledged what I already deduced. There's a closely guarded secret about what went on in that autopsy 10 years ago.
Yeah.
What? Secret? I know nothing of any secrets.
Because, like, you have to assume, right, that when he took over, he was just handed all the evidence. Like, he wasn't involved in the procuring of anything. He literally just took over, like, the day before. Like, that was the kind of vibe they were talking, right?
Hmm?
It was like, please let me take this trial. Please, 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 please. And Starheart was like, yeah, someone else to blame if Kingdom Come, you know? For sure. That's why he gave up the seat.
While we wait for my supposed mark into the Goku's cabin, I drew my clan illustrious sword Karuma before the inspector's eyes. He very quickly understood what my true motive was. Right, I see you're the Asagi young lad, are you? And what, you're gonna cut me down with that thing, that's it? You're going to shoot me, the man who got shot? This will very much depend on the answers you give to my questions. I want to know what really happened 10 years ago. The truth, that's all. Before we get into it, let's make one thing clear. I still believe your father was the professor. There's no doubt in my mind. But unfortunately back then, we didn't have the evidence we need to make the crime stick. So you admitted that. But evidence used in my father's trial was fabricated.
It was sham! I'm a sham, we're a sham.
It was for the good of the country. Anyway, I was just following the orders. Orders? What exactly did you do? Speak. I am saying another word. Even if your life depends on it. That's right. Even then.
And that's when he got pissed. So that's when the tip of the sword broke. He got angry.
Oh, Kazuma-sama.
If the result of Klimanzik's autopsy were fabricated, then the investigating officer Gregson and the lead Colonel Wilson must have known about it. And they can only have been ordered to prevent the course of justice in what way by one man. The man leading the case for the prosecution, Aaron von Zix.
But he wasn't! Not until the very last moment. You're misdirecting your anger, that's...
Holy shit.
But like, does
Holy
Sogi
shit.
even know that?
Holy shit. In other words, the defendant did have a cause to organize this exchange of assassins.
No, you did, you fucker! Oh my god. I'm gonna smack him
Exactly.
with his stupid
As
unicorn
was
staff!
established earlier. It has to have been the Reaper himself who linked with Jigoku in Japan to arrange the exchange.
Ah!
Ah!
That's me.
Ah!
That's my Don't take it from
It
me!
follows that the Reaper's true identity can only be that of the man who stands accused in this courtroom today, Baron von Zix.
Small. Strong heart can't hurt you. Small, strong heart.
Kazuma Sogi. What?
I feel like at this point he finally realizes.
But you just told the court. Are you absolutely certain of your facts?
Yeah, because now it's downing on him, right? He's like, oh shit,
No,
you know?
like, it doesn't need to down on him because he got info that Gregson admitted that it was a sham.
Yeah.
Did Gregson really fabricate evidence for that trial 10 years ago?
Yeah, now he's like, oh shit, you know?
I heard it with my own ears. His shameful admission. In that case, I know. The name of the Reaper. What? Wait, what?
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 Huh?
I mean, of course you know your
Are
own
they-
name.
Lord Van Six? Is he okay,
I
guys?
get no such orders. I know that for certain. Which narrows down the remaining possibilities. To one.
Lord Van Six isn't the one behind all this. Then yes, there's only one other person who could have done something like that. Does Sasuke not know about this? Like the switch? I
No.
believe I know who it is too.
You did not.
I don't think
You?
he knows. I just had a feeling this name was gonna come up. He's been here the entire time like a looming ghost unicorn. Oh wait, he's right there. The only person who could have arranged the assassin exchange and manipulated the autopsy results is the Lord Chief Justice himself, Lord Mail Strongheart. Da, 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 da.
Lord Strongheart.
Exactly him. Yes, it's true that 10 years ago, the defendant handled the prosecution of the professor in court. But he only took over the case after his brother, Lord Clint Van Six, has been killed.
Nani the fuck? I can only assume that this is the most inappropriate joke in British judiciary history.
No, I'm entirely serious, but you are the whole fucking circus. To be fair. Well, Lord Van Six.
10 years ago, I was very new to my profession. I had burning desire to avenge my brother's death. So I pleaded for the control of the case. The investigation at that point, the supplication of the lords to allow my brother's corpse to be examined. All the evidence I was given, the autopsy reports, it all came from you.
Dang. It's like, that was you, bro.
I've spent my life since then believing I was in your debt for the way you stood aside and let me handle the trial.
But really, you were just trying to make me take the fall.
But I see now. I was very much mistaken.
I like it. This is like his moment. It was a hugely influential force that caused the inspector and the coroner to break the law 10 years ago. And that same force was still felt a decade later on the other side of the world by Seishiro Jigoku. Lord Strongheart, everything falls into place when we recognize that you are the reaper of the Bailey. But also he's the judge, what are we gonna do? Cause like, okay, so what I like about this part, right, is that I feel like in this moment, it's sort of like how this has been like a battle where like Asogi and Naruhodo and Van Siegs, they've all been like bickering amongst each other, and it's like in this moment where everyone is like, oh shit, and they look at the judge and we're like, we have a bigger enemy to fight right now. And I love that. I'm sorry.
The court awaits your response, my lord.
I'm silly noodle, I'm sorry.
It might very well go down in British judicial history, but I assure you, it is no joke. Consider there is the formal accusal by the defense. But
I like
do not agree to anything. It doesn't warrant a response.
Ah.
A formal accusal. Don't be absurd.
I'm the judge.
Defense claims are utter nonsense. A wild fantasy at best.
You're not gonna defend yourself?
I claim that there was a wrongdoing with Lord Clint Van Ziek's autopsy. This is utterly untrue.
But I heard it from Gregson's own... Oh, that's... Why am I reading this? I'm sorry.
I heard it from Greg's own lips. He admitted to it.
Talk about being into it.
And where's your evidence? What? Gregson dead now. Unless you were thinking of summoning a ghost to the stand.
Dang! Where's the spirit mediums when you need them?
You mean to say... Forget how the system works in your little backwater country. In courts in British without evidence, there is no case.
Oh shit.
I have no intention of entertaining some wild fantasy that can't possibly be substantiated by anyone or anything.
This is exactly what he wanted. Everyone is dead.
Ugh!
Everyone who knows anything is long gone.
Order! Order in court. Following Inspector Gregson's murder and the light of Dr. Wilson's death as well. There is really no one left who could testify about the events of 10 years ago.
Wait, there is! Mikotoba! Mikotoba! He's still here!
Well, that was the real purpose of the assassin exchange.
Oh shit.
This court has no business raking over the cause of case that was concluded a decade ago. The accusal brought by the prosecution and the defense is categorically denied. I take it there is no objections?
No. Kazuma. He's more or less waited his whole life for this moment. Is there really nothing else we can do now? Is there no other avenue we can go down in pursuit of the truth about what really happened all those years ago? If only there was someone who could testify about Clint Van Ziek's autopsy. Come on, you! There is someone! Come on! He's gone to extraordinary lengths to cover his tracks. Even so far as dispatching an assassin all the way to Japan to ensure Dr. Wilson's silence. And Dr. Seif won't say anything against Strongheart. But there's still one ray of hope. Objection! Come on, Mikotoba! It's Mikotoba! It's Mikotoba! Hello? Actually, there is one person. One person who could still testify about that autopsy.
Don't be ridiculous. There is no one left.
He was... How is he overlooking Mikotoba right now? That's what's...
He has no idea he was there.
Wait, really? That
Yes.
he had no idea there were two assistants?
Yes. He was thinking it's Courtney's side and Dr. Wilson, and Wilson brought Mikotoba as a freaking guy that was his...
Right.
Who, Rinosuke? Who? Tell me!
An overlooked possibility. Kazuma,
Please, this trial can't end. Not yet.
I love him. My little sad boy. I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it for the truth.
I am
He
not
doesn't-
baffled by that.
He doesn't know! I'm glad he doesn't know. The person the defense would like to call to the stand to testify about the autopsy at Lord Clinton Seeks is Dad! Come here, Dad!
Heaven help us, another Japanese.
An expert in forensic medicine, my lord. Professor Eugene Mikotoba, 16 years ago. He came to London with Seishiro Jikoku and Genshin Asogi as a visiting.
And what could this testimony possibly tell us?
I promise I'll take his voice for this one part. Professor Mikotoba was the primary assistant during the autopsy in question. He was also the person who actually penned the report.
Incorrect. The autopsy was carried out by the coroner, Dr. Wilson. The report carries his signature.
It was the primary assistant's duty to keep a written record of the coroner's work during the procedure. In actual fact, the coroner merely read over the report at the end and signed it. In other words, Professor Mikotoba witnessed the entire autopsy from start to finish. The defense demands that Professor Mikotoba be summoned as a witness as a matter of urgency. Whatever really happened at that autopsy laboratory 10 years ago is something only he can tell us. He's gonna say no.
Defense demand is denied.
Denied. What? Professor Mikotoba is in London at this very moment. We could summon him to the stand in minutes. No, of course he's not gonna agree to it. Strongheart has no intention of summoning anyone who knows. He's too concerned about protecting himself.
Prosecutor Asogi, let me refresh your memory, as you seem to have forgotten for the prosecution stands. Only minutes ago, you accused the defendant of being the Reaper and masterminding the assassin exchange. I did, yes. So present your evidence for those claims and make your case complete. At this time, I don't have the requisite evidence. But that's exactly why we need to witness testimony. The professor case is closed. There are no clues in the distant past that will bolster your argument today. I'm afraid to say, Prosecutor Asogi, that you would appear to be possessed by the spirit of your late homicidal father.
Shut up. God, this
No.
is...
As I stated earlier, this court has already reached a conclusion with the suspect in the matter at hand. Inspector Gregson was murdered by Japanese Supreme Court Judge Seishiro Jikoku. As for any hidden circumstances that may exist, they will be investigated in due course by the proper authorities.
But we all know what will happen. They'll just give the mastermind of the whole venture time to cover his tracks again.
By which you mean me.
Yes. Yeah, I mean you.
Punishment for this contemptible behavior will be decided at a later date. As for you, Prosecutor Asogi, you will be remanded following this proceeding. Willingly, I trust, since you gave your word. Fuck! This futile game of revenge is over. Young Master Asogi.
I feel for him. What are we gonna do?
What you gonna do soon?
Ben Six is just like, I will not be educated! Wait, is this good? Wait,
It is I, my dear fellows.
who is it? Who is it?
It is I, my dear fellows.
It is I! It is I! Mr. Sholmes! It is I!
This is no place for amateur detection, Mr. Sholmes. I remind you that these proceedings are closed to the general public. You will leave the courtroom at once.
Mr. Sholmes was instrumental in the apprehension of Seishiro Jikoku before he fled from Europe. The court should hear what he has to say.
No. Lord Miles Strongheart. It's imperative that you refrain from bringing this trial to an end at this stage. Is it really? And Why would that be? You need only recall your own words from opening of the trial to answer that question, if I may. We still stop at nothing to uncover the whole truth behind these disturbing findings.
How did you like my impression?
Surely it can't be. That the shock of being accused of being the Reaper yourself has erased that from your memory, can it? The whole truth, sir, has already been uncovered. It would seem that we have a great many important members of the judiciary present here today. I put it to you, my dear fellows. Should the trial end at this juncture? After all, why have you been invited to attend, not along, at the provocations of your superiors? Prevarications.
He's really appealing to authority here. He's like, have you come here
Order.
to be sheeple?
Order in court. It seems to me that we stand before a door that leads to a new era of legal practices, a door that is ajar. Let us emerge from the shadows of the Reaper decade-long ascendancy. For you and you alone, my fellows, have the power to push this door open now. These auditors in the gallery have no right to express an opinion on the court proceeding. Silence!
He's right.
The judge has obstructed here.
Yes, if he calls the trial to an end, it must end.
But will that really do?
It says dark things occurring behind the scenes. Dark things indeed. What's... are you? The trial should go on! Summon a witness!
That's right, we need to clear this up before the young apprentice fellow is remanded to custody.
I love this part. It's just like that spark of hope in his eyes. Well, aren't you assured those present that you want to cover the whole truth here?
Indicate yourself, outline these accusations.
The truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. That's the very foundation of British law. You're being challenged, my man.
A toast to my dependable colleagues in the gallery.
Look at that! Oh shit, sorry. That was me bonking my sewing machine with the slogan.
Testify! 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 Well, my lord. Hear the voice of British justice, I take it. I think you'll find it will be rather awkward to silence.
This is so unlawful, but I love it.
The court will recess briefly.
Huh?
I have no intention of shrinking from those allegations.
Like, look at his face! I love it. It's just...
Bailiff, arrange the subpoena for the witness at once. As soon as the gentleman arrives at the courthouse, we shall reconvene.
Oh, don't worry, he's already here.
Our recess won't be necessary, my lord.
The camera just pans and he's just standing there. It would be really funny.
Pardon? Katoba is a close friend of mine. He accompanied me today. He's waiting in the antechamber as we speak.
Like, I think that like within that recess he would have like kidnapped him or some shit. So this is a good call on Sholmes' part.
I do believe he's been enjoying a little trip down memory lane, in fact. What? Professor Katoba is here in the courthouse?
Mr. Sholmes, you didn't know this would happen, did you? You definitely did.
I had no idea, my dear fellow. No one is in a better position to answer that question than you, surely.
Of course he knew. I wasn't just asking for the fun of it, you know? I can't believe you're blaming my
Well, I
feelings
must
like this.
thank you for your assistance in this matter, Mr. Sholmes.
Oh, you're welcome.
However, we are of no further use here. Kindly leave the courtroom at once. But of course, in truth, I was rather busy now as a result of those developments. Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes?
I trust you have Ivy's little lucky charm with you.
Absolutely. It's still in my pocket.
She sends her regards and a reminder. If you find yourself at a dead end, the ears are at your disposal. Just one tag, if you please.
Oh, of course. Yes, I will have the the bullshit omatic at my disposal.
In that case, this trial will continue without delay. Bailiff, show the witness to the stand.
I'm so glad that Dad is like. I'm glad at the sort of continuity of these two games. Like, it's hectic and there are also messy parts, but like, says Lord Strongheart, he's the Reaper of the Bailey. Or exactly, is this trial gonna help me? Is the trial gonna take me, I wonder? Just how deep am I about to be plunged into the blackness of the abyss? Well, I'm ready. I'm ready to head into the heart of this maelstrom and confront whatever horrors it tries to drown me under. Yeah, I kind of like, I remembered that this word exists, and I was like, that's why.
Like, honestly, in my opinion, word Mal is better than Vortex. Mal sounds like a real name.
Yeah, but I feel like they should have just called him Maelstrom. Just kept, because.
That would be extremely ridiculous on the nose, even for Ace Attorney standards.
Yeah, because I don't know.
Maelstrom, Strongheart.
I still think that like referring to him as a vortex is definitely more fitting than a maelstrom, but still. But I can argue that maelstrom sounds more like a real name. Yes, it's just vortex is definitely like more like.
Mina, stop! Just stop. You're supposed to stop at the safe.
Eh? Really?
Yes, there is no better place to stop now.
Okay. Jesus.
Like.
Fine.
You went an hour ago. Just tell me when to stop, so it's like, okay.
Yes. Okay. Fine. This is fine. And for tomorrow, I will make sure to fix this problem. Hopefully. I'm thinking about who we should raid.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah. I mean, we could raid Andy, who's also playing the Great Ace Attorney.
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay, let's do that. We will do that. Okay. Let's raid Andy. I just need to make sure I spell it right. That's always the thing, right? I find that really funny that like we finish playing this game and then we go raid someone who's playing the exact same game. Okay, thank you guys so much for coming tonight. I apologize so much for all the problems. So we will just end stream here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye. Oyasamina.
Oyasamina.
Oh, oops, that was the wrong button. Hey, Oyasamina again. Bye.